Oh, jeez!
You talk like a fag, and your shit's all retarded.
You're a dishonest cunt! You should just fucking smile and blow me!
Is very obviously gay. I look at him, I'm like, well, you're gay.
Enough. I will hear no more of this Hebrew nonsense.
Rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
In certain extreme situations, the law is inadequate. In order to shame its inadequacy, it is necessary to act outside the law, to pursue natural justice. This is not vengeance. Revenge is not a valid motive, it's an emotional response. No, not vengeance. Punishment.
Tonight we have a chance to say, yeah, you're right. We're too extreme, we're too wild, we're too out of control, we're too full of our own shit. Or we have a chance to say, hey, fuck you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right. Because you have all made it to the dance. Because believe me, this is the dance. Start the show.
Hey, you ready to chop it up, you fucking black guys? Let's go! Sorry, I'm on crack today. I'm on crank. I'm geeked out of my skull. I'm falling apart in a good way. Holy Jesus. Too much caffeine. Too much caffeine. And I went back to the gym today, and I've been gone for a week. I haven't been to the gym in a week because I had that shoulder bursitis. And it's still not good. It's still not great, but I could get to the gym and do some shit. And, like, I could get my arm up to here. So I was like, I can play basketball again. Bro, second jump shot I took, it was like a mid-range. Like, my first one was a layup. That was easy. My second one, it was a jump shot. It was like a mid-range, probably like an 18-foot jump shot. And my shoulder crunched. You know, if you ever have really bad swelling, if you try to move it too much, you'll get like those 3 clicks in there and it'll sound like a crunch. My fucking shoulder crunched. I made the girliest sound in the world. There were 2 other guys shooting on the court I was on, and then there was a 2-on-2 game going on the other side of the court. And I took the jump shot and I made this sound. Like, oh, fuck. Other grown men heard me make that sound. It was like a just casual little jump shot. Oh, fuck. That was the extent of my time at the basketball court today. So then I hit the bike and I hit the treadmill. You got to try and keep your heart rate in that 150 to 160, that 160 fat burning zone. Got to try to keep it there for a half hour. Otherwise, you're not going to lose any weight. I always hear people say that. They go, they say, oh, well, you know, as you get older, you know, it gets harder to lose weight. And that's true. Like when I was a senior in high school, I lost 20 pounds in 3 weeks by just drinking lots of water and jogging around my block twice every day. And 20 pounds, just like it was nothing. When I was like 18. Went from 220 to 200. Don't worry, I went back up to 220 by graduation time. But like now, you got to Google shit. You got to be like, first of all, you got to have the calorie deficiency. You got to, they say calorie deficiency for an adult male is like under 2,000. If you go under 2,000 calories, you'll run at a calorie deficiency. Your body will burn off more than you eat. And then if you exercise, that's adding more. But you got to get in that fat burning zone. You got to get your heart going at about 160 BPM, and you got to keep it there for 30 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week. So I get the bike and I get it up to 160, and then I hit 15 minutes on the timer on the bike at 160, and then I hurry over from the bike over to the treadmill. I get going on that because like basketball's great and I love basketball, but if you're just shooting around, if you're not playing in a full court, even if you're playing a half court game, if you're not playing a full court game, it's hard to get to 160 just shooting around playing basketball. Now boxing, it's easy. Boxing is great. But like, you got to get that beats per minute up there. So I wasn't getting that with my bum ass shoulder playing basketball today. So I had to keep that going. Then I swear to God, there was this like old, I don't want to say old, but older. She was like in her 50s, probably, woman. Not like, I'm not saying she's ugly or anything, but not like an attractive woman. And we were in the sauna, and I was sitting a good distance away from her, probably 3 people away from her. There was a guy there, there was her, and I sat in between the 2 of them, but there was plenty of room. And I'm playing a game on my phone. And as I'm playing, because that's what I do. I got music on, or I got something on YouTube, and I'm playing a game on my phone. As I'm playing a game on my phone, this woman moves. Like after I'd been there for about 5 minutes, and she goes and sits against the wall. And I'm holding my phone like this as she's sitting against the wall. I'm just dicking around playing Royal Match or Royal Clash, whatever the fuck the oldest one is. And I'm playing that, and then this woman kind of looks confused or weird and then walks out of the sauna, and there's part of me that's like, dude, I think this woman thinks I'm like filming her or something. Like, she gave me a weird vibe. I'm like, I think she thinks I'm not filming. I'm playing a fucking game. I'm listening to a song. Not that I would ever record anyone, male or female, at a gym or in the sauna. I would never do that. It's fucking creepy. But if I were a creep, I wouldn't pick her. And then I kind of had that idea out of my head. And then a YMCA employee comes into the sauna, walks in, picks like a little piece of paper or something up off the ground in the sauna, and then walks back out. And I'm still on my phone playing the game. I'm like, okay, that's weird. I've never seen a Y employee come into the sauna. I'm like, these motherfuckers think she went and complained to somebody, and she thinks I'm filming people in here. I'm playing the gayest fucking game. It's basically like Tetris. I'm playing a boomer game on my phone. I'm listening to Mr. and then a fucking Jake Owen song. And then another guy comes in, and now I'm so paranoid, I think that's the husband. He comes in, he's leaning on the bench. He's not sitting down on the bench in the sauna. And he goes, hey, man, how's it going? And I'm like, oh, pretty good. How are you? He goes, shitty. I'm like, well, that's awful. Okay. And he starts asking me, like, hey, what you doing? I'm like, just playing a game. And then as I look, I'm like, no. He goes, isn't that bad for your phone? I'm like, yeah, my phone overheats all the time, and it cuts off. That's how I know to get out of the sauna. That's funny. I'm like, yeah, I'm just listening to music, playing a game. Oh, what are you listening to? And I tell him Mr. He's like, that's a chick band from the 80s. I'm like, what are you going to do? I go, now it's Jake Owen. It'll probably be Brooks and Dunn or Eric Church next. He's like, oh, God, we can't talk anymore. And I'm like, okay, this guy's not busting my ball. He's not spying on me. This guy's just a really friendly, talkative dude. And he starts talking about he's a metal fan. He hates Gene Simmons, all of this other stuff. But I just got it was the weirdest vibe I ever got. I'm like, this lady thinks I'm like being a creep, and I couldn't be more minding my own fucking business. So anyway, that has nothing to do with why I'm geeked on crank today. So I had a Celsius packet during the show. And then after the gym, I had 2 bubblers. Those were about 70 milligrams of caffeine each. And I think Celsius is like 240. And then before tonight's show, like, I was really tired. I was not feeling the greatest. And so I made another Celsius powder. So I'm going to be shitting through a screen door and not hitting a wire, I think, tonight, if I ever go to bed. After all of that, what I'm trying to say is, welcome to the show, and we're very excited to have you. People in the chat saying, then Aaron fucked the dude. Why does it have to go there with you guys all the time? Why do you have to go right to gay? Always gay with you guys. We've got a good show tonight. I'm very excited about it. As you can see from up top on the screen, no goal tonight. We've had an incredibly generous run these first couple of days to start the week. We are done on every show we have until tomorrow night. So throw in a few. I say throw in a few memberships. I say throw in your little appreciation. Golden showers tonight. Get the full Karmic costume. I'm going to show you. I'm going to debut the Karmic jacket in a little bit. It's a jacket I already owned, so it's not going to be as flashy as what Karmic has. I've got my karmic glasses. But the jacket, it's a leather jacket that I have. And I think it'll work for now. If it doesn't work for you guys, when I show it to you for the karmic impression, then you can tell me it fucking sucks and I need to find something else. And I'll go get a karmic jacket. But for now, I think it should be good. I'll debut it in a little bit. All golden showers. Get the karmic jacket. But yeah, I'm bouncing off the fucking walls today. I can't focus. I mean, as ADHD as I typically am, it's way worse at the moment. Bong Time says Aaron got hit with a sexual harassment charge. No, I didn't. I don't even have a felony, Bong Time. You can't say Aaron has another felony. I don't even have one. Gurmy says, did you show Gino the pictures of the lady in the sauna? I didn't take any pictures of the lady in the... Woodyu says, sauna at the gym is where boomers go because they can't work out correctly. I go there at the end. I do all of my shit, and then I go there at the end so I can completely drain my body of water. By the way, you don't lose weight in the sauna. I relax in there. I listen to some shit, whatever. You don't lose weight in a sauna. I should say this. Whatever weight you lose in a sauna, when you start drinking water and hydrating again, you gain it right back. You'll burn a few, you'll burn like in 15, 20 minutes, you'll burn 7,500 calories, I guess. I shouldn't say you won't lose any weight, but the weight you do lose in a sauna is mostly from sweat. It's water weight. When you rehydrate, boxers and wrestlers will go into the sauna like 15 minutes before a weigh-in if they're close on the weight, and they'll try to dehydrate as much as they can. So no, I did not take any photos. Mick, but let's catch up with the chat on both Rumble and YouTube, and then we'll get into the stuff we have tonight. Hit like, hit subscribe, and hit follow. You know, I've got this like trolley thing I've been doing lately, and I probably should stop. It's really unproductive. But I've been going on Facebook lately and writing anti-Trump shit and like anti-war shit and like really aggressive anti-war and anti-Trump shit. Basically rage baiting people and then telling them in the comments their opinions are shit. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not typing anything I don't believe, but I'm saying it in the most anti-boomer aggressive way I can. And if you're ever wondering, like, man, I don't see a lot of support for Trump anymore. Everybody's kind of jumped off the Trump train because he was a fucking liar and probably was involved with Epstein. Or no, he was involved with Epstein, but he probably fucked underage girls. If you're wondering where they all went, dude, they're all on Facebook. And they fucking love the guy. They love Donald Trump. They'll say shit like, Iran's funding terrorism. I'm like, are they? Or are they funding resistance forces to an illegal occupation that's been going on for 60 years that literally every other country in the world but America recognizes as an illegal occupation? That's what Americans don't understand because we don't look outside our own country. There is not another country in this world that goes, oh yeah, what Israel's doing in the West Bank and Gaza is totally fine. They all think it's horrific and a war crime, but they can't do anything about it because we're backing it. So yay is what I meant to say. But yeah, those Facebook people, man, they go mental when you shit on Trump. They'll be like, Iran's funding terror. I'm like, we're funding the IDF. We're funding fucking terrorism. What are you talking about? And I'm like, first of all, like, don't tell them true shit. They don't like it. Like I told him, dude, you understand Benjamin Netanyahu secured all the funding for Hamas because he wanted them to run out the Palestinian Authority because then he wouldn't have a, quote, partner in peace so he could avoid a two-state solution because he wants to annex the West Bank and Gaza Strip. There. Honeybee's photo says, no, oh, right, Rogan goes to the sauna all the time as well as Mel Gibson. No, it has health benefits. Losing weight is not one of them. It's not a good driver for losing weight. It has other health benefits, though, for sure. I think circulation. I think it's good for circulation. Rogan also does those ice baths, which are supposed to be great for inflammation. I'm supposed to be eating blueberries. What did I see? What are the things? When they make, like, here's how you can sell me on any health-related shit. Show me cartoons. There was a cartoon I saw about kidneys. And the cartoon I saw about kidneys had, like, how apples are good for them, how blueberries are really good for them. And there was one other fruit that was like super awesome for your kidneys. And because they were little cartoon apples and cartoon kidneys, I was like, fuck, I got to eat more of that. We should really find out together what's really good for your kidneys. Welcome to the show, by the way. Hold on. Fruit good for kidneys. If I can find you the cartoon, I'm playing it for you. This isn't it. I need my show me my kidney cartoons. 5 fruits that increase your risk of kidney failure? What? No, I don't want that. I think this is it. 6 fruits that will clean your kidneys fast. I think this is my cartoon. Guys, you ever want to sell me on something health-wise, just find shit like this.
Number 1, watermelon. Hydrates and...
Oh, Lordy, has got the cleanest kidneys this side of them tracks, yeah. All you got to do is pick it up like this here.
flushes out toxins.
This isn't the cartoon. I'm not going to listen to this guy. Because immediately, look, it was not a cartoon. What's the first thing I did? Black jokes. I did black jokes immediately. Oh, wait. Oh, this is mildly animated, but this isn't the one. There's 5 bad fruits for your kidneys. Yeah, don't do the ones that are bad for your kidneys. There's one where it's like cleaning up all the black sludge in your kidneys. Oh, man. Here. Animation. My little cartoon fruits. That's what SP calls me. Her little cartoon fruit. You know what? I know why I fucked up. It's a Facebook reel. Never going to find it. Never going to find it if it's a Facebook reel. So if I go, fruits good for your kidneys, real. Kindies. I spelled it kindies. We're never going to find it. All right, let's see if guys, I'm too invested. I got to find the kidney. Wait, this might be it. I think
I boost hydration and help flush kidney waste.
I'm Green Apple. Waste buildup? Eat me. I support filtration and reduce kidney workload.
I'm Grapes. Kidney stress? Eat me. I protect blood vessels and support clean filtration. I'm Blueberries. Oxidative stress? Eat me. I protect kidney cells. Save this to avoid kidney issues early.
See, like I said, you give me a good cartoon that explains something, I will start doing it. Why? Because I have the brain of a 7-year-old. That's why. Dude, my brain is so underdeveloped, Jake Lang tried DMing it today. That's not right. That's a good late night joke, though. I should sell that one to Kimmel. He would like that. Jelly for the Smelly says, wait, I think I found it. Did you post eating a whole ham to protest Trump? No, I would never post that because I wouldn't do that. Hulkamasha Baby says, you could lose weight if you didn't stop at Herbert's and Gerbert's after. I don't. I grabbed 2 bubblers after the gym. All right, and I really wanted to try the salted caramel Twix. Other than that, Jimmy Dore defeated Alex Jones today. Alex had a meltdown like his Channel 5 interview, saying, I killed the kids in Iran. You're right. Jimmy walked all over him. Link, please. Whenever you're going to tell me about somebody having a fucking meltdown, you got to include a link. I'd love to go check it out. So, yes, that's, like I said, you give me cartoons, I'll take it as gospel. 100%. Oh, man, we got... Just type in kidney cartoons, you silly ass. I figured it out eventually. I knew it was, I just had to figure out what platform I saw it on. When I was trolling Trump fans on YouTube, or when I was done trolling Trump fans on Facebook, I went and watched fun cartoons about my kidneys. And look, I learned. All right, guys, let's get into our stuff. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. We need you to hit like. We need you to hit follow. We may not have a goal tonight, but that doesn't mean, you know us. Once you're ahead, stay ahead. Let's do it. Everything you do tonight goes to tomorrow night. Everything they do tomorrow morning goes to tomorrow night. The evening shows have been incredibly slow lately, so I want to put as much advantage on the next evening show as I possibly can. Thank you to the morning show folks who have really been hammering it out this week. It's been a really fun couple of days. So I wanted to start with something uplifting to start the show. I know the vibe when you talk about war and you talk about bad news and you talk about all this stuff. It's kind of a bummer. It's kind of a downer. So I thought what I would do today is I would play something that I think, I don't think you guys can shit on. And if you do shit on it, everyone's going to see that you're the bad guy, right? This guy, oh my God, this is from Cabot Phillips. You know who Cabot Phillips is? I didn't even realize this was the guy who posted it. Cabot Phillips used to fuck Erica Kirk right before Charlie. She dated Cabot Phillips. He worked at the Daily Wire. I don't know if he still does, but he and Charlie were friends and then became Eskimo brothers. Cabot Phillips dated Erica Kirk. Then she broke up with Cabot Phillips. Here's what I think happened. Here's my conspiracy brain. So Erica Kirk was kind of groomed by the elites to be the Helen of Troy and be the, what do they call it? What do they call the FBI director's girlfriend? Honeypot. They pick these conservative guys who are influential and by golly gee, we really just want to make a difference and we want to show kids that conservatism is the way to go. And they're like, all right, this guy's getting really popular on his own. We got to stick him with one of our broads, put a nice pair of tits in his face, make him, fall in love with her, and then we can kind of get our hooks in him. So if we ever need to explode his microphone pack because he's getting too lippy with us, we can do that, and his wife will cover for us. So I guess they thought Cabot Phillips was going to be the guy. Like back in, 2012, 2015. Cabot Phillips, he's the guy. Unleash the Kraken. Send in Erica Fransby. She'll tame the beast and we'll have our hooks in the guy and that'll be the... And then it kind of showed that Cabot Phillips was basically just going to be a producer for the Daily Wire. He wasn't going to be anything. Erica, we need you to break up with this Cabot Phillips. Thank you, sweetheart. Make it, take it easy on the guy. We don't want to, destroy him spiritually. We got this guy, Charlie Kirk. Oh my God, people are loving this Charlie Kirk. They're sharing his videos everywhere. We don't want him to start thinking for himself. We need to plant ideas in him. We need to give him donations, make him beholden to us, make him really, really rich, but not too rich, and then just kind of ride his popularity. Go shake your titties in his face, but tell him you love Christ, and you two will live happily ever after. So they did. And then Erica Kirk left Cabot Phillips, and she ended up with Charlie Kirk, where then she was probably in on murdering him. Can you see why I rage bait people on Facebook? The boomers do not like that kind of thing. In fact, right now, let's go to Facebook. No, it's not. I was going to say, let's make a status that says Erica Kirk was in on her husband's murder. They would not understand the humor in that at all. So anyway, this Cabot Phillip guy posted this. A veteran died in Tennessee. He had no known relatives. So the word gets out that this veteran in Tennessee dies. He's got nobody to show up at his funeral, no relatives, nothing. And so then this happened, and this is just fantastic.
You are cursed.
I'm just kidding. Danhausen did not come in cursing. All right, this is the real video. You know what? This is a little small. Let's go full screen on this. Look at it. Look at all these people that showed up. They've got a line out the door for this dude. This is so awesome. This is why our veterans deserve better than some child-touching fucking cabal creep blackmailed by some Mossad agent sending our soldiers to die for nothing. They don't like that on Facebook either. When you say our soldiers are dying for nothing, they fucking hate that. But they are. They're dying for less than nothing. They're dying for Israel's empire. Not even dying for our shitty empire. They're dying for someone else's shitty empire. But this is awesome that these people turned out. And this kind of illustrates to me the difference between America and the American government. To me, this is America. This is the country. This is what we like. This is what we strive for. This is community. This is people coming together in someone else's time of need. The government of America is evil, crooked, corrupted, satanic, like really terrible, like awful people who have co-opted and crushed our republic, and we need to get it back from them. Because that what we just watched, that's America. The people dropping bombs in the Middle East right now, and that is not America. No, sir. So I just thought that was a nice thing to start the show with today. So now we have Fuck You Dude, who's been sending in $5 every show and just writing the word savory. And now, you know, if other people want to throw in money and start their own, what do you call it? Gimmicky word game. Where it's kind of dark, not subtle. What's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of dark and ominous. Let's just go with ominous before I look too retarded. Bong Time with $2 just says moist. Now, if I may, Bong Time, Fuck You Dude doesn't put the ellipses after. I mean, that's cool if you want to, but if you're imitating him, I don't know. McBuster says, Jimmy Dore, Jones today, full interview, looking for clips. All right, let me know when you got good timestamps. I would love to. I love Jimmy Dore. I think I might like Jimmy Dore more than I like Alex Jones at this point. Joey Caravello's mommy says, it was 3 people, dude. Are you out of your fucking mind? Did you not see the line of people outside of the church? There were people. So you had the people outside. If you would have looked inside, I try to share with you guys nice things because I feel like sometimes I bum you out too much, and that's on me. And then when I show you something nice and I'm like, let's be uplifting, you know what? I think this is a perfect time for the Karmic outfit to come out. You know what? Give me 1 second. I need to transform. I need to be trans for a second. You guys don't deserve nice things. I need to give you a new character. I was trying to be nice Aaron, kind Aaron, decent Aaron. And then you pieces of garbage, you sit here and you tell me that there's only 3 people there that were honoring a veteran. You piece of shit. Oh, you don't like that they're honoring a veteran? What, do you not appreciate their sacrifice? You're a piece of shit. Trying to bring you a good thing in this world, and all you can do is tear it down. Hey, tear down my livelihood. That's what you do. Oh, but you're better. Oh, you're a better guy. Because you can tear down a veteran, you piece of shit. Bong Time with $2 says moist. That's all you can say in this world is moist. When there's veterans out there who are getting moist with their own blood for you. And you don't even give a shit because you're a son of a bitch. I don't know. I like it. You know what? I like it better with the coat. I don't know if this is the coat we're going to go with for Karmic, but I like the coat. I can't see a goddamn thing. There we go. Professor Tie-Dye with $1 says, Jigga. Jigga what? Professor Tie-Dye with $1 says, Casper. This is all getting very, very random. Very, very random. Oh, man. You need to get one of them tuxedo t-shirts. Does he wear tuxedo? I haven't seen enough Karmic to really study the whole thing. T. Jefferson says a no effort Karmic no effort. I got a coat. Now I'm yelling like Karmic. I got a coat. I got glasses. I got a whole costume. T. Jefferson says that jacket is so gay that's nowhere near cool. And yeah, they're saying that Karmic's jacket is black. Okay. They're calling him Tomic X over on YouTube. Soviet Shark says, be catty toe. Is that the gay voice that he does when he's wearing the thing? I'm going to have to watch the gay one a little more. And then maybe I can do something. Believe it or not, I do have some boas laying around in the garage. It's from a Hulk Hogan Halloween costume. It's not, I don't just keep feather boas around. You bitch. Wow. Tucker Z says, keep it going. Where's the song? I gotta say, I digress too. I like the tantrums more. I'm focusing more on the Karmic tantrums. But you're right. His catchphrase is I digress. And I got to play an AI song. Look, we're working on it. This is in its infancy. This is in the, we're workshopping. at this point. But I don't know. People are not vibing with the coat. They're saying that the jacket's not going to work. Oh, shit. Joey Caravello's mommy says it should be a members-only jacket. No, Karmic doesn't wear members-only jackets. Lander says, I wonder if he tucks or swings free. It's not my business to know. I'm not committing to the impression that much. Soviet Shark says, you have to cry for an hour and then tell people that you are a man as well. Well, I tell you what, we get a golden shower today. Those memberships come in and all that stuff on a goal-free Tuesday. We'll do a little more Karmic. We'll workshop it a little more. You can send in the requests. I like this. We're working together. Oh, man. You also have to ride the waves. He gets real calm and talks normal until he shouts out of nowhere. Damn, maybe I have to watch more Karmic. Oh, that's not something I want to do. That's really not something I want to do. Oh, no. Honeybee's photo says Valley of Men. Yeah, you guys need to help me. Apparently, I don't know enough of his catchphrases. I haven't done enough research. I just see him yell at people, and I want to do that part. That's it. Valley of Men. What does that mean? Is that one of his gay AI songs? The Valley of Men? It sounds like it. Karmic Valley of Men. I'm not seeing. Oh, I see a short.
I better grow a few fucking hairs on my neck for a few years. I only need a few days. Because I come from the Valley of Men, which these men would not understand. I don't even want to even fucking...
First of all, the Valley of Men sounds gay. You know, if you come from... Like, men, that's masculine, but a valley is gay. I think of a valley, I think of, like, that thing Anakin and Padme were sitting in the second Star Wars movie. That's a valley. That's gay. I think of, Sound of Music and shit.
Call them men. I better grow a few fucking hairs.
All right, well, that's the Valley of Men. Yeah, apparently I have not done my research. These people are eating me alive on my lack of knowledge. Landers says the Valley of Men is his pretend theme park where dicks come on sticks instead of cotton candy. Well, it's different. You got to give him that. It's very different. T. Jefferson says, I thought you made Karmics. How do you know nothing about him? Well, look, when you make somebody, I make somebody like turtles do. You know, like sea turtles, they hatch their eggs and then they fuck off and the babies have to figure out their own shit. I'm like a turtle father or a black dad. It's more my vibe. No Pen 15 Fathead says, Google the Valley of Men. I don't want to. The Valley of the Headless Men refers to the mysterious, fatal history of the Nahanni Valley in Canada's Northwest Territories. Located near the South Nahanni River, this UNESCO World Heritage Site is among numerous unsolved deaths and disappearances of prospectors in the early 20th century. It is a place of deep, remote wilderness known for its stunning, rugged scenery and dark, haunting legends. See, this is what the evening show is about. Hanging out with the chat, going where the show takes us. Yeah, I got plenty of stuff ready, but this is what sets the evening show. The morning show is a professional morning show entertainment, bigger crowd, 600-700 people at a time, thousands of people coming in and out, like big crowd. Evening show, we got between 200 and 300 people at a time, few thousand, by the end of it, it's like 2,000-3,000 people. And we're shooting the shit, trying to make a little cash. There's got to be like a YouTube documentary about the Valley of the Headless Men, right? First of all, it's a badass name. The Valley of the Headless Men. Holy fuck. I don't want to watch a 29-minute. Come on, there's got to be a 10-minute video on this. Here we go. 10 minutes. Oh, but it's a History Channel thing with Dan Aykroyd. We're definitely getting popped for that. Warning, Nahanni National Park is hiding this. Here's 13 minutes. This could work.
A more sinister curse is said to afflict Nahanni. Legend holds that the best...
This guy kind of reminds me of the Ancient Aliens dude with the crazy hair. Whoa, what the fuck? Have I already watched this? Why is this jumping right to 1832? Oh, here we go. Okay, it's timestamped. Fuck it, let's go.
To avoid coming to harm in the valley is to leave the soil untouched. Anyone who removes minerals from the earth, especially gold, meets an untimely end. There seems to be some truth behind this prohibition. Not only are there plenty examples...
Fuck that, dude. I want to go there and take gold. I want to, like, not till I'm like 80. I want to do, like, if I get a terminal diagnosis and they're like, you've got a year to live. Like, all right, day one, so we can't call it a flu. Like, if I drop dead after I go to Nahanni Park, but they're like, oh, he was terminal, so it doesn't matter. I want to go day one, I get the diagnosis. I want to take gold out of Nahanni Park, and I want to fuck off and go home. And if I die within the next week, holy shit, it's real. But, like, I'm not risking anything because I was going to die anyway. It'll be like my MAID program.
From the Nahanni Valley, but similar taboos can be found all around the world. For instance, visitors to Hawaii Volcanoes National Park are strictly warned against taking rocks from the area. In addition to the legal
Fuck you, bitch. I want to talk about the Valley of the Headless Men. Get back there.
Penalties of removing such items from the U.S. national parks, it is believed that anyone who does so invites the wrath of Hawaii's volcano god, Pele. Each year, Volcanoes
Pele was a soccer player. Totally different. They Pele kick you right in the head. You never see it coming.
National parks receive hundreds of packages, each containing sand and rock taken from the site, returned by tourists trying to change their newfound bad luck. Whereas Pele values obsidian, whatever lurks in the Northwest Territories,
You're a dork.
Seems to covet gold and it refuses to let it leave. The prospectors who died in
coveting is a sin. Come on. What are we doing?
Nahanni Valley are the source of its most enduring mystery. A string of headless corpses stretching through the years. The intense interest that prospectors showed towards Nahanni began in 1900. When a Diné tribesman named Little Nahanni brought a quartz sample from the valley into town. It was richly veined in gold. Now, according to one story, local tribes had endeavored to keep the valley's gold a secret. But Little Nahanni...
Why did you do that? Why? Don't do that. Don't ever fucking do that again. I don't ever want to see a grown man go, they kept it a secret. That looks like you're trying to suck my dick when you do shit like that. Knock it off.
Nahanni changed all of that. When a second Diné brought more gold from the river, 4 years later, the Nahanni Valley was inundated with prospectors, a flood which had
Mr. Pocket! Don't worry, Mr. Pocket! It didn't hit anything important! It didn't hit anything important! That joke was for 3 people. That reference was for 3 of you who have Netflix subscriptions and like the Coen brothers. That's it.
Diminished to a trickle by the time brothers Willie and Frank McLeod...
Jesus. Is this before or after the Headless Curse? Because these,
had actually set out in 1908. By all accounts, Willie was the quintessential frontiersman, capable of living off the land and tracking game better than anybody else at the time. When he first found gold in Nahanni in 1905, Willie filled an entire box with samples, but tragically lost them when they spilled overboard in the river.
Oh, Butterfingers. God darn it, shucks. That sounds like a fishing story, you know? Oh, I had the biggest fish this lake's ever seen. Slipped through my fingers, fell in the lake.
Returned and was able to pan 10 ounces worth of nuggets. He soon enlisted his brother, Frank, and a young engineer from Scotland by the name of Weir. That was the last anyone saw of any of them alive, at least. Like so many other tales from the era, the rest of the McLeod story is hard to precisely pin down, with newspaper narratives offering conflicting details. What is generally agreed upon is that 2 to 3 years later, Willie and Frank's brother Charlie set out to find his missing siblings. He eventually discovered them along the river in a part of Nahanni known as Dead Man's Valley. Both had been murdered. Their heads were missing. And some stories featured their heads intact, their bodies sporting gunshot wounds. The McLeod brothers appear to have been killed in their sleep. One skeleton's arm was still outstretched, reaching for a now rusty rifle resting against a spruce tree. Charlie identified his brother's remains from their personal effects, as well as a note scrawled in their hand. We have found a fine prospect. Sure enough, a magnificent hoard of gold-bearing quartz sat in a box nearby.
Oh, shit.
Untouched. Who would kill them?
Let me guess. The brother took it, and then he lost his head, too.
Leave this fortune behind. Ware was certainly a suspect, but according to the original story, he was never found. And now, decades later, Charlie would claim that he found and confronted Ware, only to have him kill himself. Now, 9 years after the McLeod's expedition, another prospector, Martin Jorgensen, struck gold in Nahanni as well.
Yeah, sure, Mr. Jorgensen, here from the fjords.
He sent a message to his acquaintance, Poole Field, who set out to rendezvous with Jorgensen.
Let me guess. He found him with no head.
Poole met the mad prospector Joe. Poole finally crossed the divide, but was shocked to find Jorgensen's cabin burned to the ground. As for Jorgensen himself, his dead body lay nearby, missing a
Finger. I'm going to guess finger.
himself, his dead body lay nearby, missing its head.
Damn it! I was off by a little bit. Little north.
Such decapitations would continue on and off during the decades, including an Ontario miner who was found beheaded in a sleeping bag in 19...
What do you think? It's neck AIDS? There's fucking savages in the hills killing you for prospecting. Stay the fuck out of there. Jesus. What are you doing? By the way, I didn't take the Lord's name in vain. I was saying, what's up, Jesus? I was taking a break. I'm working on it. I'm getting there. Yeah, if two guys show up with no head and then another guy shows up totally unrelated to the other two and he takes gold and then he gets found and he's got no head, take a fucking hint, boys. It's time to go prospect somewhere else. Do you think like the native tribes that were, had like bones through their noses and were cutting these guys' heads off were like starting to get a little pissed? They're like, fuck, what do we have to do? We don't like cutting all these guys' heads off. These white men are well nutritioned. They've got very thick necks. This is major surgery we're performing with Stone Age tools. I wish they'd get the fucking hint and leave us alone. You think we like chopping heads off? Don't get me wrong. We like eating the meat, but the chopping the head, the butchering is hard.
45. What is responsible for these mutilations? Many explanations have been offered throughout the years, but the official...
Jews.
The guy's a Jew.
Sorry.
Position is that an animal scavenger is somehow taking these missing heads. In
What,
addition,
an animal who just kills people with gun. The two guys died of gunshot wounds. So there's a bear with a rifle shooting people and they're like twisting off their head like a pickle jar. You fucking dipshit. Not this guy. He's fine except for that thing.
to Weir, the Nihani people were blamed for the McLeod's death, since some believe that the tribe were avid headhunters. Whether or not this was true is anyone's guess. There's some evidence that tribes further to the west, along Alaska's coast, may have engaged in headhunting practices. However, many of the region's other tribes were mostly peaceful. Among those that weren't, their mutilations focused predominantly on scalping, not decapitation. Were animals to blame, or humans?
I'm going humans. I'm going, always blame the natives when it's heads missing and shit. Blame savages when some savage shit goes down. This was all a huge problem up until this one young man named Brian Paulson crashed his airplane there and then survived with nothing more than a hatchet. Good for him. That's another joke. That was for 3 or 4 people. That was it. Did anyone else? I don't think anyone else got the... I might have finally done a joke that absolutely no one got. Oh, people are saying the karmic impression is not bad, but you got to say, I don't give a fuck. Okay. I'm getting a lot of good suggestions here and songs that I need to play. Good. Good. Boy, I'm way behind in the chat. Holy shit. Aaron, look at McBuster. He has Alex Jones. No. I had that link, but I need timestamps. I need timestamps for the Alex Jones thing. Professor Tie-Dye with $1 says, that guy is gay. Try Scray. He's interesting. Okay. All right. Guys, I have the McBuster link. For fuck's sake. I'm scrolling down. I'm trying to catch up with the chat. Fuck. Jelly for the Smelly says, hey, anybody seen 2 heads lying around here? Yeah, it's time to leave. It's time to leave. Aaron is ignoring us and McBuster's. Shut the fuck up. Besides, there's no money in it. So quit rushing. All right? Calm down. Christ, Joey. I'm about to ban Joey Caravello's mommy for no crime other than fucking bothering me. Hooters Girl says, every time you say his name, $100 off the goal. When I start feeling comfortable with my speech, then I will institute that rule. For sure. Hulkamasha Baby says, the book's called Hatchet. You said the name in the book of the joke. No, not that joke. I knew that people get a hatchet joke. We all graduated from 5th grade. I mean the Mr. Pocket joke, and it didn't hit anything important. The fact that nobody got that one makes me so happy, but also sad at the same time. Sam Show says there's no money in the last fucking video you made us watch. You don't give. That's not true. A guy gave money and said, Aaron, you got to look this up. How do you like that? How do you like that? All right, so we got Canada's scariest national park. We'll get to that. But first, Jesus, so Joey Caravello's mommy doesn't have a fucking aneurysm. We'll go to 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 16 seconds of Alex Jones and the fantastic Jimmy Dore. Guys, hit like, hit subscribe, and hit follow. What are we doing? Yeah. Oh, God. 190? The fuck did I do to you? Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. There's basically nobody watching on YouTube, and we're like just hitting 100 now on Rumble. Holy fuck. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. You know, this is what I don't like. This is what I'm starting to resent about the evening show. Goals. There is none. There's not a single fucking goal tonight. All right? And if you do just a bare minimum, there won't be one tomorrow either. So we get to do a fun show. I get to hang out with the chat, all you guys. Then you get mad at me when I don't hang out with the chat. It's like, I don't see the numbers doing great in a chat hangout show. So how dare you? Sam Show says, why does it say 170? Look at the day next to it. It says Wednesday. Fuck. Sorry. When I have to deal with lots of stupidity, I start to turn into karmic a little bit. All right, off we go. I'm going to do this Jimmy Dore thing and continue to resent my evening show audience and wonder why it's not growing. Here we go.
Our listeners buy products at thealexjonestore.com. That's all a fact, but that doesn't matter because you can just say the innuendo and you guys are now the good guys.
Why is Jimmy Dore watching Jimmy Dore interview Alex Jones? Is this an old interview? Somebody explain this shit to me.
And I'm the bad guy. So, fine. I was paid directly by, what's her name? Erica Kirk to kill Charlie, and I did it for Israel under direct.
That's funny. He is having a hard time. But look, I don't want to shit too hard on Alex because, if you had $1 billion legal obligation hanging over your head, you'd probably be losing your fucking mind every day of the week too. And then here's where Alex can't win. He gets called an Israel shill or an anti-Semite, or he's in the pocket for Trump, or he's a crazy conspiracy theorist. The guy really can't win. That's the problem when you're in the world that Alex Jones is in. You can never go far enough. And if you don't even try to go far at all, if you have a take that's not kind of crazy, people they accuse you of being mainstream, even if you're still being honest.
Orders from Benjamin Netanyahu. And they paid off my $1 billion debt in the fake Sandy Hook cases, and everything's fine now, Jimmy. So I confess. There, you got me. You're like Perry Mason. You got me to finally, you can't handle the truth. And now I admit it. So is that good? Am I square with you?
So he's interviewing him from here. Then what the fuck is this? Is this Alex has this here? This is stupid.
No, Alex, everybody has a lot of affection for you, but it's. But
I killed Charlie,
and so
Alex is losing it a little.
I don't think it's crazy for people to have those questions and wonder. And why isn't Alex Jones leading the charge on this cover up? That would be right in your wheelhouse. That you would be one exposing all the lies and all this stuff. And yeah, maybe she's wrong about this, or that's how. And that
I specifically broke that Kash Patel was covering up accomplices.
Okay, I mean
but nobody cares about that.
Okay, I mean this is your stance. I wish you well with it. But I think that the key, it's a big deal to find out why Donald Trump's administration is covering up for the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I didn't think that connects.
I think what we're watching is kind of Jimmy Dore become more curious than Alex Jones. And I don't think by the way, the history these two have, when Alex Jones came in and stepped all over the Young Turks at the Republican National Convention and came in with those Clinton rape shirts, Jimmy Dore is the guy who spit on Alex Jones. He hocked a loogie on Alex. So to see these two being semi-friendly with each other is kind of funny. But I feel like Jimmy Dore has more of a zest for the conspiracy stuff, and he's got a really funny co-host in Kurt Metzger. And I feel like Alex as he loses Paul Joseph Watson and he loses Owen Schroyer, and, it's him and Harrison Smith now, basically. And as, the lawsuit, and then they're trying to take InfoWars away from him. It grinds a guy down. It really does.
To the Iranian war.
Here's the thing. You say, hold on. We got to go to break for 1 minute, join stations. But what is my stance? I want to hear what my stance is.
No, you seem to, you're saying that there's a cover up, but you're kind of, I don't know, being patronizing to Candace Owens' claims. And maybe she's wrong about one or two. That's how investigations go. If you follow a lead, if it doesn't go anywhere, good. You had to follow it to see if it went to a dead end.
And my first video to her was, this Egyptian plane info we ran, it's not accurate. And I got response back from her surrogates that I am on the Israeli payroll. So I'm a little upset about that.
Well, Tucker Carl, I know Tucker Carlson said he could confirm the Egyptian plane. So, we'll
come right back in 60 seconds. Our medical grade.
All right. We'll do a little bit more of this, but this isn't great.
Yes, I get it that he was being bullied by the Israel lobby. He was a moral man. He was breaking with them. He called me a few times about a month before he was killed. And he was so nice. I thought it was sarcastic because he didn't call me sometimes, but not a few times a year. He's like, man, thank you for exposing Epstein. Thank you for pushing the White House where they're going for full release. We really appreciate you.
Although, hey, let's not sanctify Charlie Kirk. Wasn't he the same guy who, when it came to Epstein, said, I believe my friends in the administration? And he ate a shit sandwich for that one. Luckily, he did turn around that opinion. Charlie did, like a week later. And then I think he got shot like 2 weeks after that. So, well, I mean, there you go. Maybe he should have kept with the, I trust my friends in the administration, by golly.
You're just so wonderful,
Somebody, I think it was Candace Owens, and, you can think about Candace Owens whatever you want, but, like, Candace Owens said yesterday on her show, Charlie Kirk was the first casualty in the Iran war. I don't know. Sounds cool. Sounds like a cool, catchphrase, but I don't know if that's accurate. I think he died for a lot more than that.
Such. We want to get you at our events. Alex, I'm so proud of you. Can I pray for you? I saw you at that one event. You were drinking too much. Looks like you lost weight. You're not drinking. Oh, God, Jesus loves you so much. Not a fake Christian. I'm like, God, I'm talking to a preacher.
Oh, he's Catholic? People are starting to get a little chippy about that, too. Hey, Catholic supremacists and this and that. No, it's like Malcolm X says. It ain't hate teaching. It's love teaching. I love you. So this is what I think is best, and I'm sharing that with you because I love you. But, Charlie was a real one. But I don't get that. That can I pray for you thing. That kind of sounds like you're being grandiose. Just fucking pray for the guy. Probably shouldn't say fucking pray, but like I said, I'm getting there. Just pray for people. I don't like that. Can I pray for you? Yeah, yes. You can't. You're not rape praying somebody if you don't ask them first. Because, when you ask someone, can I pray for you, that's kind of a notice me kind of a thing. And I think that kind of defeats the purpose of praying for people. I think you should be a little more humble in all of that. You can tell someone, oh, I'm praying for you. I don't even know if you need to tell them that. Maybe if they're having a hard time, you can tell them that. But I don't know if you necessarily even need to go. You definitely don't need to go, can I pray for you? Yeah, you don't need my permission. Honeybee's photo says Episcopal is close enough. You know what the Catholics call the Episcopalians? The frozen chosen. Yeah, it's an old joke. Shitty joke. It's an old joke. Canada's most disturbing national park. No, people hate this. They didn't like this. They didn't like this segment. They said it was shit. They don't want me to do more on the Canada thing. Nope. No, sir. 209. All right. We did get over 200. Not by much. Tonight is a dog shit fucking program. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow, share the show. I should get out of the chat because you guys are not, we're not doing numbers by going in the chat and doing that shit. Let's go to the stuff that I have planned and see if we can't get a little closer to 300 tonight. No goal this evening, but hey, do your part, little tithing, if you will, and throw a couple of bucks to the toe. And look, I'm going to be embarrassed for the evening show if we go into tomorrow night with a goal as far ahead as we were. We knocked out tonight's goal this morning this morning and tomorrow morning were knocked out already. If we go into as far ahead as we were, if we go into tomorrow night with a goal, I'm going to be a little embarrassed. We talked about this a little bit this morning, but it is official. The New Mexico authorities have confirmed they are officially, specifically, we talked about it this morning, that they were searching Zorro Ranch. If you don't know what Zorro Ranch is, let me help you. This was Epstein's former ranch. This is the one where Robin Leach was like, my God, I murdered 2 prostitutes, where he's accused in the Epstein files of strangling 2 hookers to death during rough sex. And they said they had to bury the bodies on the property in Zorro Ranch. Smells like shit, fligging, fligging, oh go. That's another joke that 3 people will get, if not 0. But Zorro Ranch is being investigated. That's what we heard this morning. And this afternoon, the New Mexico authorities made it official. They are searching for dead bodies. They want to see if dead bodies are buried on Zorro Ranch. Now, the guy who bought Zorro Ranch is a big-time Zionist Republican businessman and political figure. He's running for, I think, Houston, Texas's comptroller this year. And he owns it. Now, my theory is that when Epstein went away, and especially when he either died or disappeared or whatever, that dead man switch got flipped and all of his people went around cleaning up all the bodies, digging them up, doing thermal scans, making sure they couldn't trace anything back. So I am very confident that the New Mexico authorities are not going to find a damn thing on Zorro Ranch. I don't think they're going to sell it to some dipshit Texas Republican with bodies buried on the property. I just don't think the Epstein estate is going to do that. So they are looking. I think that's awesome. I think that means the New Mexico authorities looked at the Epstein files, saw these accusations, took them seriously, and did some searching. Here's the problem, and here's what a lot of people don't get about the Epstein files. These aren't files that haven't been seen before. The FBI is releasing them because the Southern District of New York and the Federal Bureau of Investigation have seen all of these files. The troubling thing is that they saw all of these files and they did none of these investigations until they were made public, knowing that their ass is on the line and we're going to stare at this and go, oh my God, these monsters covered for these demons. They saw the shit that they were doing and they didn't investigate Robin Leach. They didn't investigate Les Wexner. They didn't investigate the guy who's in the Trump administration now, the guy who was the head of Cantor Fitzgerald, Howard Lutnick. They didn't investigate any of these guys and charge any of these guys with crimes. Now, as the old saying goes, a day late and a dollar short, now the New Mexico authorities are checking out Zorro Ranch and they're like, hey, we're looking for these dead bodies. We're going to go look. They're not going to find anything, though. Because as efficient as Ghislaine and Jeffrey's operation was, I don't think that they're just going to bury some bodies in the desert and then just leave them there. Fauci's Pangolin says they dug them up 6 years ago. I mean, at least, right? What would 6 years ago be? 2020? Is that when they sold it to that guy? Nah, I don't think so. Honeybee's photo says, makes me laugh that Robin Leach was doing all of this. I mean, in a perverse way, yes. In a perverse way, to think of the guy from Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous going, all right, now I'm going to strangle you with my belt. Oh shit, she's not breathing. I should try to revive her under this gold spout sink. This is why we have the whirlpool tub complete with walk-in stairs. We'll throw her in there and see if she wakes up. Or we could go into this beautiful marble walk-in shower with glass doors and ivory handles, complete with a built-in stereo system and Bluetooth-capable mirrors. Meanwhile, he's not breaking character even when he's murdering whores. Robin Leach. Honeybee's photo says the mob buries people in the desert. The desert and Lake Mead. Remember that, Lake Matt Mead. Do you remember a couple of years ago when there was that really bad drought in Las Vegas and Lake Mead sunk down to historic lows and they started finding rotten bodies that the mob had buried there? Ugh. I want to say they found 30 bodies in Lake Mead, but that could be wrong. How many bodies were found in Lake Mead? At least 6 sets of human remains were uncovered in Lake Mead in 2022 as water levels dropped to historic lows due to drought. The findings, which included a body in a barrel with a gunshot wound, natural causes. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to shoot the barrel. God damn it, Robin. Would you fuck? We're going to stop inviting you to shit. I'm sorry, it was a Sig Sauer 320. The damn thing went off on its own. So every time he goes to a party, he kills someone. And this is a lovely punch bowl in a crystal goblet. I've spiked it with arsenic. Oh, shit, don't drink that. Get some shovels. We're going to be burying him. Fuck, dude, it was a Christmas party. What are you doing, Robin? You're out of control. You know what? I talked to Jeffrey and Ghislaine. They said you have a problem, all right? And it's getting very serious. Honeybee's photo says, I didn't know that about Lake Mead. Scary. Yeah. Makes sense, though. Like, it makes sense that a place so close to Las Vegas would be just filled with mob kill bodies. Would You says, I just love glass shower doors because if you slip and fall through the doors, the very sharp glass will break your fall. Don't fall into fucking glass doors, you clumsy bitch. Very easy problem to solve. Go away, becoming a member for 46 months on YouTube. Have I been on YouTube that long? Fuck, I'm getting old. He just says, Sprunt. Thank you very much. Tucker says, yeah, it was a Tenacious D reference. It was the Jesus Ranch Tenacious D reference. I'm glad somebody got it. Thank you, pal. Oh, now those Rumble numbers are picking up. YouTube, you're still way behind. But Rumble, thank you very much. Hit like. You got about 30 more to go. We can get to 300 tonight. About 250 of you checking out the show. Let's go, baby. Let's go. All right. This Jake Lang thing, I have been following this all day. I was watching some Catholic stuff while I was at the gym. I had that on YouTube. It was, I watched one about who really killed Jesus. Like they were really breaking down the Pilate versus the Jews thing. Here's the thing about Pontius Pilate. I feel like sometimes Christians give Pilate a little more of a pass than he should get. Don't get me wrong. I don't think Pilate wanted Jesus' blood on his hands, but Pilate was not a good guy. He leaned on the crucifixion big time. Big time. I want to say it was Pontius Pilate. No, I think it was a different Roman governor. Spartacus wasn't in Judea, was he? Was Spartacus in Judea? Thracian. That's modern day Bulgaria. Okay, so it wasn't. But Pontius Pilate was not shy about using crucifixion as a punishment. But he really didn't see Jesus as a guy who was deserving of crucifixion. But he claimed there was a Jewish mob there. A few of the Gospels say, yeah, there was a Jewish mob. They said, you got to fucking crucify this guy. He's saying he's the king of the Jews. Here's the thing. Saying you were the king of the Jews back then was blasphemous to the Jews because they didn't believe in the divinity of what Christ was preaching. But in Rome, saying you were the king of anything was considered insurrection. So if you claimed you were the king, that was wrong because the emperor was ordained by the Roman gods. So saying that you were the king of anything will get you, well, I mean, crucified in this case. So while the Jews certainly wanted Jesus killed and they did not ever apologize for their part in it, Pilate was not this guy who was like, oh, I just really love this Jesus fella. I don't want to see him killed. Pilate was a cunt too. I just think he was a cunt who didn't really want to deal with the whole thing, you know? 09 Canyon says he offered Barabbas because he was a total scumbag. No way did he expect them to choose him over Jesus. Right, but here's the deal. Pilate could have said, like Pilate did say, I see no reason to crucify this man. Pilate said that. So if Pilate would have had some balls, he was the prefect of Judea. He could have just said, you're free to go. But he got bullied by the Jews. And they were like, no, you got to. And Pilate was worried that if the Jews had an uprising, it would threaten his power in Judea. And he wasn't about to lose power. And Rome, thinks he's a piece of shit who can't run the place without riots. if he's got to sacrifice this one guy, he'll do it. That's why he did the whole washing his hands of it. That was a chicken shit move on his part. So yes. That was, so I watched a video on that, and then I watched another Catholic video while I was biking today. Always thirsty for that knowledge. Honeybee's photo says David Bowie as Pontius Pilate. All right, let's check that out. And then I want to go to this Jake Lang thing. So Jake Lang was caught DMing with a 15-year-old girl and like calling her baby and honey and inviting her out to his rallies and all. It was really fucked up shit. We'll show you the messages again. Jake Lang has been coping about this all day. He's really worried about this. Jake Lang, if you don't know who he is, he's a Jewish guy who poses as a Christian white nationalist to sow dissension amongst Christians and Muslims. He's a psyop. Jake Lang is a piece of shit. He's a phony. He's a liar. He's put in place by the powers that be to sow dissension amongst people who might otherwise be against what the Epstein class is doing. Jake Lang is a tool of the Epstein class, and also, I'm comfortable in saying, wants to fuck teenage girls. We've got that coming up. The predator hunter, Alex Rosen, was so upset and bothered by Jake Lang's DMs that came out today that he actually got in contact with Jake and wanted to see kind of what was going on, almost like the start of an investigation. If you don't know who Alex Rosen is, he's kind of one of these guys who popped up in the absence of Chris Hansen. Like once To Catch a Predator went away, all these other guys kind of took up the mantle of what Chris Hansen was doing. Alex Rosen is one of those guys. So we'll have that in just a little bit, but somebody did send this thing about Pilate in there. And let's take a look.
So you are the king of the Jews? King's your word.
Oh, The Last Temptation of Christ. Okay, God, that was 1988. Hudge. We're going to get popped for this. Honeybee's photo, I don't think I can do it. We're going to get popped. I'm sorry. I'm just tired of fucking editing videos and waiting for the editing to be done. But go watch The Last Temptation of Christ. It's a solid flick. It's no Passion of the Christ, but it's a good movie. It's just skip to 2 minutes. I can't. Like, if I play movie clips, YouTube's going to fucking pop me, like, hard.
So
I'll go to 2 minutes and I'll show a still of it, but I can't fucking play this. I'm sorry. I'm not shitting on you, anything like that. I thank you very much for sending this in, but YouTube is fucking not playing around when it comes to showing movie shit. There we go. Honeybee's photo says, I forgot we're on YouTube. Yeah, we only got 75 people there, but it's people. 239 checking out the show. Hit like, keep hitting share. And throw in a couple memberships if you could. All right. So here's the text to remind you of what Jake Lang was up to. Jake Lang was DMing with a 15-year-old girl. Let's have this guy explain it to you. This is the guy who's been in Minnesota a bunch. This is a guy who went to New York, and he's like trying to rile up Muslims by going, oh, you bunch of goat fuckers, and brings a goat with him. A couple of Muslims threw explosive devices at him. And that's supposed to pit like white Christians against Muslims in these towns. The problem is Jake Lang is actually a Jew who's LARPing as a Christian nationalist to pit white Christians and Muslims against each other. He's a piece of shit. If you need any more evidence, Laura Loomer loves him. There you go. So this is the Jake Lang story.
Jake Lang, 1776, has been in the news for doing tons of shit. Yesterday, he was driving around my city for some reason humping a goat in the back of a van. I wish I was kidding, that's exactly what this weird fuck was doing. Jake's not interested in goats. As it turns out, he's interested in young underage women. See, a friend of mine, Arlen, aka the Zerg, does underage things. It turns out Jake Lang was stupid enough to give him his number and creepy enough to interact with him thinking that he was a 15-year-old girl.
Now remember this. This guy has a friend who catfished Jake Lang like one of those Chris Hansen undercover deals. That's important because Jake Lang is going to lie his fucking ass off to Alex Rosen when Alex Rosen confronts him about the 15-year-old DMs he was sending. Jake Lang's going to try and blame it on Nick Fuentes.
Started working on this back in November when they...
So this is November. Again, this is important.
followed Jake Lang's account. Jake Lang reached out and said, "You coming to my next protest in Texas?" Jake immediately goes for the phone number. Now I want to make it apparent that these profiles are very clearly belonging to high school students. I obviously can't show you the profile because that would blow the entire operation, but they always have some sort of high school and some throwback to being in high school.
Right, you have to remember this was an Instagram account, so there's nothing, or an X account, whatever it was. There's nothing but photos. I think that thing in the top here is Instagram. There's nothing but photos and all kinds of stuff on this account. He can see that it's a high school girl.
But it gets worse. Jake insisted to move it to text message conversation. He said, "I have too many DMs. Text only, sweetie." Decoy gives phone number in this message. Jake gets chatty. "How old are you, by the way?" the decoy asks. He says, "I turned 30, honey. Why are you up so late, young lady? How old?"
That's just guys who have no game and how they flirt. Ugh.
"Are you, baby? Unless you are under 18, I don't care." The decoy says, "I'm 15," and sends a selfie. And he sends possibly the creepiest message a 30-year-old grown fucking man could send to a 15-year-old. He says, "When do you turn 16?"
See, now that's creepy groomer shit. Because, like, if you're writing... let's... Okay, first of all, Jake's a creep because he knew this girl was in high school because it's all over her profile. Well, it's the person who runs this profile. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say he didn't know. And then he asks, the response you give when they say, "I'm 15, ready? I'm going to make me big, Jules. When you're texting with someone, and let's say you assume they're a grown woman who's just a little younger than you, and you go, "How old are you?" This is the appropriate response when she says, "I'm 15. Ah, fuck! Burn my fucking phone. See that? Look at that. That's how panicked you're supposed to be, is you fuck up your OBS. Ah, burn it and burn my fucking eyes with bleach. 15. I'm a piece of shit. That should create an existential crisis in your soul when you're DMing with someone and they say they're 15. That should make you feel shitty. Honestly, you should be tying a rope in your bedroom. You should be fashioning a noose in your bedroom if someone says they're 15. You should be going, "Well, I had a good run, but Okay, another obscure reference. The movie In Bruges. Remember when Ray Fiennes in Bruges says, "If I killed a kid, I'd put a fucking gun in my mouth and I'd blow my fucking brains out, no questions asked. That's just what you fucking do." And then later in the movie, he uses these exploding rounds that blow people's heads clean off. He shoots Colin Farrell like through the arm, and then it hits a midget who's in a movie that they're making in the head, blows his head off. So all you see is this little body. It looks like a child. And Ray Fiennes, no question asked, goes, "Oh, fuck." And he goes like the shrugs, puts a gun in his mouth, blows his head off. Why? Because it's the right thing to do because he shot a kid. So to me, if you DM with a girl, even if you didn't mean to, and you find out she's 15, you immediately just go, "Well, I had a good run, but that's a bridge too far." But Jake Lang decides that he's going to go, "Well, when do you turn 16? Oh, little Dalia over here."
The decoy then says, "In 6 months, I turn 16. I won't get you in trouble if that's what you're worried about. I can keep a secret." Jake hearts this message. And he takes it a step further. "What state do you live in? I can't see you till you're 16. Ugh. Jake, you're 30. Is this crazy right-wing influencer thing going so poorly for you that you have to try fucking children?
No wonder Laura Loomer doesn't have a problem with him. Well, you might want to book those tickets to Tel Aviv, Jake, because I don't think you're going to be welcome here much longer, my friend. Holy Jesus. Oh, man. So let's, Roots Calhoun does not like me calling him Ray Fiennes. I used to call him Ralph too, but that's not how you pronounce it. He says this Ralph, this Rafe shit is ridiculous. It's fucking Ralph. I had to find religion on this too. People told me that, dude, stop calling him Ralph. It's Rafe. How do you pronounce Ralph Fiennes. I'll put it up on the screen for you. Ralph Fiennes' name is pronounced Rafe Fiennes. The first name Ralph uses the Old English pronunciation Rafe, and the last name Fiennes is, Fiennes is pronounced Fines. He has confirmed this pronunciation himself, noting it is a, quote, funky Old English spelling. I'm sorry, Roots. I'm not trying to be fancy. It is Ray Fiennes. So, back to Jake Lang here. Alex Rosen then starts texting him, and he's like, he's got a job to do. He catches kid fuckers or people who will become kid fuckers. And seeing as Jake Lang, even if he wasn't necessarily directly working on fucking this supposed child, he was definitely on the highway to it. So Alex Rosen had to check it out. He sends Alex a message, or he sends Jake a message. Now remember, this was in November of 2025. This guy running that TikTok account showed it. It was what do you call it? An undercover decoy. Were those messages real? Rosen wrote. I'm just asking before anything. Jake wrote, Nick Fuentes went on a 10-minute vicious rant about me on his show yesterday. So the Groyper army has been attacking me with dozens of phishing hoaxes and scams. My lawyers are gathering everything now and preparing to strike back hard now. Bro, you're lying. That is like a straight up lie. That's not where those messages came from. Those messages were from November. Alex Rosen wrote, bet. Well, were those texts you being for real or fucking around? So Alex Rosen is giving him all the rope in the world here. Jake wrote, my team does my DMs from out of the country suspected I was being phished. I confirmed it by asking their age and telling them the legal boundaries. Wait a minute. Does your team do your DMs? Or did you ask the age? See, this is falling apart in real time. This kid's a shitty liar. That's how we know he's Jewish and goes to the Wailing Wall. He's not a white Christian nationalist. So my team who does my DMs suspected I was being phished. I confirmed it by asking their age. Which one? And by the way, you didn't confirm it by asking her age. You asked her age and then said, when do you turn 16? She said, in 6 months. You hearted that message and said, I can't see you until you're 16. Ugh. Never spoke to them again after that. Bullshit. Wrong. Incorrect. So Alex Rosen says, makes sense. And what do you mean, phished? He says they were talking about coming to my protests and then switched, trying to rope the conversation into something illegal, and we pulled the plug. It's not accurate. I told them I needed women for my burqa and bikini march that was planned for February in Florida, and they started search. But this person was phishing us to set me up for something illegal, which I then pulled the plug on. Oh, so he just wanted to have a burqa and bikini march with a bunch of women. In no way is that fucking creepy. It was totally innocent. He was setting up a burqa and bikini thing, and poor victim Jake Lang, this 15-year-old, just fell into his lap. So then Alex Rosen writes, what made us refer to this girl as honey and baby? So you can kind of tell that Rosen is not buying this shit. Never once was there a pet name used after this Fisher identified their age. Right, but her account was that of a high school student. No talks we had other than them coming to a protest. I can't come see you until you're 16. Right. So Jake Lang tweeted that and said, text between Alex Rosen and myself this morning. Nice fake setup, Groypers. But I wouldn't even allow this person to attend my protests until they were 16. Nothing else was discussed except going to a protest. Wrong. Obvious phishing scam that my team caught right away and deterred. It was in November, fuckstick. By the way, Jesse PS created an AI sign. It's the first comment that comes up under Jake's tweet. It says, underage bikini contest hosted by Jake Lang. Winner gets a Labubu. All honeys and babies come join and welcome in at Jake Lang. All proceeds going to the Jewish Community Centers for Teens. Bravo. He's done. He's cooked. He's a pedo.
Oh, buddy!
What? The text messages can't be mistaken for anything else. Yeah. The comments are roasting him. Just took Jake Lang's temperature. Pedo. Cool. Now do this one and explain while you're LARPing as a Christian to cause chaos. Go ahead and keep doing your grift, but dress like this instead. Oh, we're kissing the wall. Wait, so you hire non-Americans for work and to handle your DMs as you shout USA? What the fuck? But then said that he asked her age. People are saying if I was her father, you wouldn't be walking right now. Take it easy. It was a decoy pretending. No young girl was ever in any kind of danger, which is good. Alex Rosen then wrote, thanks for confirming you were just looking for bikini chicks. These naysayers have literally nothing now. Alex, by the way, Alex is being a cunt. If you're like, oh, Alex, how do you buy that? What the fuck, dude? No, he's being a dick to Jake Lang. Thanks for confirming you were just looking for bikini chicks. These naysayers have literally nothing now. And then people were commenting, Jake provided no proof at all. You just took his word. Now you glow. And it's this you, fatty? How do you explain this? Yeah, dude, guys, he's fucking around. Like Alex Rosen. Look, if Alex Rosen isn't fucking around, I'll be the first one to trash the shit out of him. But I think he's being sarcastic on this one. You confirmed it was just for a bikini contest. These guys literally have nothing on you now. Oh, wow. Breaking news. Holy shit. If you're a Las Vegas Raiders fan, this happened 20 minutes ago. There was a trade deal ready to go between the Raiders and the Ravens. I'm making sure this isn't a parody account. No, this is the real Adam Schefter. Something happened with the Max Crosby trade. Let me put this up on the screen. If you're a Ravens fan, you're going to fucking hate this. The Baltimore Ravens have backed out of our trade agreement for Max Crosby. We will have no further comment at this time. I have no idea what happened. Max Crosby and Raven fans right now. Yeah, I'm looking through the comments. And I'm not seeing any other rationale. The Ravens traded for Max Crosby despite his recovery from a torn meniscus. Torn meniscus, you'll be fine, though. Passing a physical depends on the team, and the Ravens were clearly comfortable moving forward with the trade based on where Crosby was in his rehab. Wow. So the Ravens, something happened. The Ravens found something out because Max Crosby is no longer going to Baltimore. Okay, I'm going to be retarded for a second. You mind if I'm retarded? I'd like to be retarded. I have a conspiracy theory. The Ravens bailed on trading a bunch of first-round picks, I think 2 or 3 first-round picks to Las Vegas, because they found out that maybe the reason they were doing this trade wasn't going to be in their division anymore. That perhaps a guy that they would need a pass rusher to go after this player with was no longer going to be in the AFC North, and maybe he was moving somewhere else, say the NFC North, maybe the Minnesota Vikings. Maybe this is because the Minnesota Vikings are about to swing a deal for so thorough Joe Burrow. And they decided that maybe this... No, that's not it. Something happened. Something happened. They backed out maybe because of a physical or something like that. Wow. So no Max Crosby news. Holy shit. God, you guys are so gay. I'm going into the chat. Football? What, you did football? All right, so I guess we're fucking skipping this one too. First of all, there is no fucking cash coming in on tonight's show. And don't get me wrong, there's no goal, so who gives a fuck? But like, you guys are awful fucking mouthy for people who would have no financial interest, a stake in this program. I will do what the fuck I want this year. Do you know how rare it is that I have a no goal day? It's extremely rare. So, you know, you throw a 10 or a 20 behind it and you go, fucking gay, don't do this shit. I'll close the next one. But out of principle, if it's free, I'm doing the next one. Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Let me see how far we drop after that speech. So right now we're at 236. We didn't have anybody fucking listening tonight anyway. Who gives a shit? Dak Prescott was engaged to be married, the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. Last weekend, they had their bachelor and bachelorette parties. And then the day after the bachelor and bachelorette parties, they announced the wedding's off. They're done. And immediately, like at least me, I was like, something fucked up happened. This is definitely bachelor and bachelorette party related. This isn't like some old thing, you know, and they finally had it. Like, you don't do your bachelor and bachelorette parties if everything isn't fine and good to go. Something happened that weekend. Well, now we're finding out that it's Dak Prescott's alleged infidelity that prompted his fiance to call off their wedding. Dude, it's so awkward. I saw a story today where they had to send out like mutual emails to their wedding guests to tell them that the wedding was off. Oh, that's so uncomfortable. That's got to be a form email, right? You don't want to write individual emails to like 200-300 guests. You have a form letter. You send one email. You put everybody's name on it. Good. Now we're done. We wash our hands of this whole thing. Oh, good thing Dak gets like 40, 50 million a year. He's not going to be able to recoup all those wedding costs. It appears ongoing infidelity issues played a role in Dak Prescott and Sarah Jane Ramos's broken engagement. That's according to a report Tuesday from Page 6, which alleged Ramos believes Prescott had a history of communicating with other women during his relationship. That's cheating. Yeah, you can't talk to other bitches. I know men have this, and women, men and women, a lot of men too. They have this idea that, well, just because I'm married doesn't mean I can't, DM with other girls. No, that's exactly what it means. That's exactly what it means. Forsaking all others. There are retarded guys out there who think that, well, as long as I don't finger fuck her or stick my dick in her mouth, it's not cheating. What? Any behavior you engage in with a woman behind your wife's back is fucking cheating. So yes. Oh, come on, I'm just DMing with a girl or I'm just texting with a girl. Does your wife know? Would she be okay with it? Then you're fucking cheating. It's women too. They're like, oh, I have lots of guy friends and I just talk to them. Whore, liar. They all want to fuck you. You're being disrespectful to your husband. Knock it the fuck off. And look, you're talking to a guy who's cheated in both of his marriages. So I know what cheating is. You know how I know what cheating is? Fucking learn from me. Stop thinking you know better. You know who thought they knew better? This guy. Don't. Save yourself a whole lot of time, energy, and money. Not the second one. The second one was cheap. So, when they're busted for being a coke whore, it takes the financial sting out of the marriage. You really just had to pay for the paperwork at that point. And your lawyer's your buddy, so you throw him a couple of bucks too, for the effort. Red Fox mad with $5. See? Look at that. Look at that. You pay, you play. $5 from Red Fox Mad. He says, Mike Evans traded to the 49ers. Let's talk football. I saw that. And, luckily my friend who lives, across the way from me, he's a lifelong Bucks fan. So I can text him when shit goes down, find out what's up. I'm like, hey, Mike Evans to the 49ers. What the fuck? Like, he's Bucks till he die. Like he's Tampa's in his blood. What's going on? I thought he would retire a Buck. He's like, yeah, me too. That's how much everybody hates Todd Bowles. He said that's how much everybody hates Todd Bowles, that they just want to get the fuck out. So, yeah, that's very sad. Good for the It's a big win for the 49ers, but it's a huge L for the Bucks. Thank you, Red Fox Mad, for the $5. I appreciate that. You're a very kind soul. You're a very nice man. And look at that. The goal for tomorrow night is going down. It's going down. Where is it here? Here we go. Taste Fairy Ialto says, it was just some light adultery. Yeah, light adultery is adultery. A light tank is a tank. Miss Tay says, Aaron has finally learned the rules. Look, it took an entire adulthood of fucking up and being a shithead. But I learned my lesson. I'm going to be honest with you. And some of you are going to hate hearing this. But you know what's made me a really good partner, and you know what's made me a lot better and has removed that inclination to sin from like my heart and my soul? You're going to hate this. Going to mass. Like it has fulfilled, and don't be gay. It has fulfilled something inside of me there was an emptiness that I think I was feeding with like sin, cheating, really bad shit, and I just don't have the inclination. I don't have wandering eyes, wandering fingers, wandering toes, wandering anything. It's fantastic. It's really great. You know, dude, Shia LaBeouf, as weird as it is, Shia LaBeouf fucking spoke to me when he said, when they said, why are you a Catholic again? Why did you come back to Catholicism? He goes, I hit my fucking head against the wall hard enough that it straightened me out. And I'm like, boy, I hear that. I get that one. So, yeah. The best person to go to for advice is the guy who's fucked up a lot and admits he fucked up and has changed him. Because I'm not going to be able to tell you what to do. I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. I don't know what to do. But I can definitely tell you what not to do because I've done it. So, feel free. Yeah, Miss Tay says, Aaron has finally learned the rules. Yep. But look, a lot of people made fun of Mike Pence when he said, I don't go to meetings with women alone. I'm a married man. Bingo. Absolutely. He's absolutely right. People made fun of him for that. He's absolutely right. 09 Canyon says, my ex was in charge of keeping his friend from cheating at his bachelor party. He told me he only let him get a blowjob. Dude, if you put the stripper's name and phone number in your phone, that's fucking cheating. If you go and follow the stripper on Instagram, that's fucking cheating. I'm going to go even further. You go to a fucking stripper, you're cheating. That is a nude woman writhing on your lap and putting her titties in your face. That's disrespectful to the person you're with. That's disrespectful to your partner. That's a cheating. There's like a Facebook reel of some chick singing that, so it's in my fucking head now. Yeah, getting a blowjob is cheating. Sorry. Miss Tay with $5 says, you're a shithead, but you're our shithead. Shithead and fat. You know how I said that there was nothing coming in tonight as far as money goes? That we can go back to that if you want to. That's fine. We can go back. Man, I've had way too much caffeine today. My heart's pumping Kool-Aid. I'm not getting to bed tonight. My Lost Interest gifting a membership. Thank you very much, My Lost Interest. Holy shit. Thank you, too. You three. Red Fox Matt as well. You guys are only about $1.50 away from tomorrow night. What do you say we just clear it all out, huh? What do you say? Fauci's pangolin, it also helps not cheating to be poor and ugly. Dude, you'd be surprised. Are you friendly? Sometimes all you need to be is friendly. Makes it hard to be friendly. You know, women often talk about that. Women often talk about how, God, I'm just friendly with people. And then all of a sudden they think I want to suck their dick. It's annoying. It's like that for guys too. Like if you're like, no, that's not true. I'm nice and polite to people. No, you know, women don't give the vibe that they want to fuck me. You're either missing the vibe or you're not really a nice person. But if you're friendly to anyone, basically if you're friendly to a stranger and that stranger has any self-esteem issues at all, they're going to latch onto you. That's just the way it is. Why? Because I've been a stranger with self-esteem issues. Again, everything I'm telling you comes from the fact that I've been there or I've been on the other side of it. So yeah, if you're even if you're poor and ugly, if you're really friendly and really engaging, people are gonna like you. Yeah, Taste Fairy Ialto said Shia LaBeouf spoke to me when he said, "I fuck with the Bible." It's such a dude. That's such a great interview. That Shia LaBeouf Channel 5 thing. There's so many great clips out of that. Do you believe in hell? Yeah, I do. Who's there? Martin Luther. Shia, I hate trying to spell his name. LaBeouf. Interview. There's so many good parts of that. What does it say? What does it say about gay? Nah. Come on, we gotta. This one was really touching when he talked about meeting Jesus. This is a great clip.
You are cursed.
I'm just kidding. That was Danhausen. That was not Shia LaBeouf.
What would you say to Jesus if you could meet him? I wouldn't say shit.
But I'd kiss him.
Really? Nah. But I'd kiss him. I'd kiss him. I'd kiss his feet. No one say nothing.
He does a macho man with his fingers there.
Chill out with these questions, Andrew.
My bad. I didn't know it was gonna make you emotional.
I'm a real Catholic, bro. A real one.
I'm a real one. I love it. I fuck with the Bible. I don't know. I'll have to maybe Saturday night after Mass, I'll talk to the priest and I'll say, can I say I fuck with the Bible? I'm not sure I'm allowed to say I fuck with the Bible. I have a feeling the deacon could probably even handle that one. He'd be like, no, you can't say you fuck with the Bible. Like, how do you mean it? Like, no, like I support it and I believe in it. Like I fuck with the Bible. Like, hey, Father, I fuck with you. He's like, we don't say that shit around here anymore. That raises alarm bells. Shut up. Sorry, I said shut up in the cathedral.
I just thought you had thought about it.
No, I'm a real one, bro.
I want to believe. It's something.
Well, hey, bro, you got to hit your head into the wall hard enough where you just go, fuck it.
I feel that. I feel that.
It's the only way, dog.
That's how you find God?
Yep, for me. For the hard-headed ones,
yep.
Yeah, you got to go hard.
What do you think was the real-life equivalent of you smashing your head on the wall?
I put a gun in my mouth. I was ready to kill myself.
That's a mood killer. You're like, hey, man, I'm thinking about finding God. Yeah, you just got to hit your head against the wall hard enough. Then you'll believe. Oh, cool. What was that moment? I put a fucking gun in my mouth. All right. We're at a Little League game. I thought it was going to be like maybe you drank too much one night, but all right. Why don't we watch the third inning together? This is, holy shit. Put a fucking gun in my mouth. All right. Where I want to find the one where he says, where he says the Bible says nah about gay. God, people are really big on the Jesus one, but I want the clip where he goes, what does it say about gay? Nah. Epstein, politics, Kendrick. Come on, guys. You don't clip this shit right. You do not clip this shit right. Shia LaBeouf interview. Let's go. Shia LaBeouf, gay. That's what we need. Said gay slurs during his arrest. Who the fuck cares? Who gives a shit if he yelled shit about gay? You should be able to yell shit about gay people. Just the gay people should be allowed to yell shit about straight people.
I know I'm fucking deep off into the Bible. I know what the Bible says about homosexuality.
What does it say?
Nah.
I love that. That is I think that's Romans 1:26. Chapter 1, verse 26 of Romans says, and unto the people the Lord said, homosexuality? Nah.
About homosexuality.
What does it say?
Nah.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
It's actually not true. I actually do have the direct quote from Romans. This is actually Romans 1:26, what it says on homosexuality and homosexuals.
You are cursed.
There we go. That's what it actually says. if you want to know the truth of it. Why doesn't My Lost Interest have a membership? Somebody gift My Lost Interest a membership and do it post haste. Got hit on more wearing a wedding ring than not, My Lost Interest. Dude, I have to say, the worst I ever was with women was during my first marriage. And the problem was when my wife and I got married, I was an AM radio afternoon drive host in Litchfield, Minnesota, on a 500-watt station. I was making about $35,000 a year. Back then, like 2013, 2014, that's enough to like get a house together, you know, and like live, you know, life on a budget and everything. You know, she had a job. Probably pulling in like $65,000 a year together with no kids. That was all right back. Now you can't buy shit with it. But back then it was pretty good. Actually, you know, if you don't have kids and you get insurance through the job, that's probably still okay. But once we were like 3 years into the marriage, I had the 101 show and we were moving up the ratings and I became number one. And like every weekend we were doing sold out comedy shows. And every weekend there were hoes. There were just skanky ass. Well, I shouldn't say skanky ass. They weren't all skanky ass. Some of them were very nice ladies. But like women who listened to your show, came to watch some of the other comics you had there. It's not like I went to these shows without my wedding ring on. And I was just not equipped to say no back in those days. I just was not equipped for it. Because like, when I was like in high school and college age, I did okay. I wasn't like slaying pussy every night, bro. But like I always had girlfriends. You know, and I think I was like, when I was finally like single for a long stretch of time, like from the age of like 17 to 22, I was with somebody. I think 2 or 3 different people over that course of time. And then from like 22 to 23 and a half, 24, I probably took a year and a half off. I did hook up with my cousin's fiance's friend at their wedding though. But like, I got married and I was good for the first few years. I was a good guy. And then the fucking comedy shows and the radio show took off and I just wasn't ready, dude. So I get it. I understand the My Lost Interest when he says I got hit on more wearing a wedding ring than not. I understand that for sure. Aaron's wall was reinforced for forehead banging. Thank you very much, Jelly, for the smelly. Honeybee's photo says AIDS was spread by buttock sex and monkeys. I don't know why that we went that way. 09 Canyon says, if you are getting arrested, you should get an everything pass. Say whatever is going to piss off the cop the most. Oh, the Shia LaBeouf thing? It didn't help him. They still want to charge him with a hate crime. 09 Canyon says, married men have been vetted by another woman and decided to be worthy. I think that's why women probably like them. Yeah, probably. Optic Nerve says those are rookie numbers. What a mo. I know. I don't have, like, I'm not like some guy who was just hoe running. You know? Like if people ask, you know, what's your number? It's over a dozen, under 20. Somewhere in the 15, 20 range. That's not crazy. It's not good. I don't think it's good for society that you have, you know, like over a dozen. I don't think that's good. You know, it's probably oversampling, I would say, but there's people with way more than I have. Honeybee's photo says the women see worth on a man that is taken. A woman that is taken is seen as hands off. Depends on who you ask. Not always. Speaking of broads, let's talk about this Ronda Rousey, Gina Carano fight. I want to talk about this thing. Oh, by the way, we were 2 people away from a golden shower earlier, and I didn't tell you guys. Son of a bitch. Oh, by the way, Matt, who sent us $500 last night, Says, keep rocking it, man. The younger generation is seeing through the BS of the mainstream media. Now to get to the rest of our generation to realize it. Yeah, thank you, buddy. I have to read everything Matt says forever now after his incredibly generous drop. Ronda Rousey went on a rant about UFC fighter pay, and she was absolutely spot on. Ronda Rousey and Gino Carano had their first press conference for the fight they're going to have, which to me is interesting in the same way that like the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight was interesting. Like, it's cool to see Mike in a boxing ring again, but I don't expect him to be any good. Like, these women they're a little too old for combat sports, especially being females. But I just want to point out, Gina Carano got hot again. I mean, she really did. Like, remember Gina Carano, like Mandalorian? She was getting kind of bigger. Apparently what happened was she told Ronda Rousey, I really need to lose weight. And Ronda Rousey helped her out a bunch and said, you lose the weight and you and I'll fight. And that motivated Gina Carano to get down, and they're going to fight at 145. I think Ronda fought at 135, right? So it's not too big for her. She'll be fine at 145. I think she's going to beat Gina Carano. Here's the deal. Carano was big at a time where very few women were fighting. I think she kind of held her own against Cyborg. I think she did okay in her fight against Chris Cyborg, and Chris Cyborg was no joke. But Ronda Rousey competed in an era that was a little tougher than Carano's. And the problem is the Gina Caranos and the Ronda Rouseys of the world were so good at mixed martial arts that it inspired other women behind them to come up and take up mixed martial arts, and they got better than her. Like, say, Holly Holm. Holly Holm was a WBA championship boxer. And she's like, shit, I can make a lot of money going over to the UFC. Look what Ronda Rousey's doing. So she went over to the UFC and she kickboxed the shit out of Ronda Rousey, kicked her in the head and beat her. Ronda Rousey, female fighting evolved, and then she fell behind. So they're kind of like A and B of their generation. But I think Ronda Rousey fought a little bit better competition than Carano. They're both far removed from their prime, but I take Ronda Rousey on this. But they had a press conference, and I got to say, I think that Ronda Rousey was spitting bars on this and the UFC White House card, which people are saying is an absolute fucking joke.
It's just not about putting on the best fights possible anymore. Dana isn't the owner, and he isn't calling the shots, and he isn't running things the way that he wants because he's an employee of the company. It was a big mistake of theirs to not let him just run things the way that he always has. Oh, he knows the White House card sucks. Like he knows that they were pushing this for over a year, and it fell extreme.
Wait. Did they get Ngannou for this same card, or are they putting Ngannou on a different card? Is he on the Rousey card? Good to see him fighting mixed martial arts again. He had a really good showing against Tyson Fury, but Anthony Joshua beat the dog piss out of him.
Extremely short of
I would love to see Ngannou versus Jones, but I think Dana White fucked over Ngannou on money or something, or wouldn't let him do any boxing. So Ngannou said, fuck you, I'm out. And he made a fortune on those two boxing matches.
Expectations. I mean, he was so upset about it. He was talking about a fight falling out the day before. It's I can guarantee you he's not happy with it either. It used to.
I wonder if the falling apart of that UFC card has anything to do with Trump falling in popularity and this war and everything else, that people who were maybe a little excited to be a part of that card before maybe aren't as excited to be a part of it now. That maybe all of this, because Dana White did say, yeah, fights were falling apart the day of and the day before. So I wonder if the prevailing winds changing had something to do with it.
Be that UFC was the best place that you could come in combat sports to make a living and be paid fairly, and now it's no longer. It's one of the worst places to go. It's why so many of their top athletes are leaving to go and find pay elsewhere. It's why their champions like Valentina are selling pictures of their titties on OnlyFans.
I mean, that's a little harsh, but she ain't lying. Is that true? Valentina Shevchenko has an OnlyFans? That's fucking embarrassing. Pay these people more. You're a multi-billion-dollar-a-year company. You know what? That might be a little too much. That sounds like a little heavy. Maybe hundreds of millions. UFC annual revenue. $1.5 billion last year. $1.5 billion, and you can't pay these people well. What was boxing's annual revenue? That's probably harder to track. Yeah, they can't find annual. They can find average boxer pay, but not boxing's annual revenue. It's too big of a sport. It's spread out all over the place, and there's cards every fucking day. Boxing's way bigger than UFC size-wise, attendance-wise, money-wise. There's just way more. But I think that I think Ronda Rousey's not wrong. They could afford to pay these people more, but they don't. And the reason they don't pay them more, though, I think the reason they don't pay them more is it's kind of like, where the fuck you going to go? You know? Where are you going to go other than UFC to get paid more? We don't have to pay you any more than this, and they're not wrong. Miss Tay gifting a membership. Thank you very much. And My Lost Interest got it. Fantastic. Very good. Red Fox Mad with $5 says, I miss the old Steel Toe morning show comedy shows from the early days. So many good-looking women at those shows. Yes, of course. Of course. But, you know, no Corey anymore. I'm not ashamed to say it. Johnny and I can't carry a show by ourselves. I mean, if I got back into joke writing, I used to be able to do an hour. I probably still could do an hour now, but I'd need a month or so to write. It's been a while. And also, I mean, I still do stand-up once a year, but like when I was really doing it, like when I was doing it every weekend, doing stand-up with Adrian and Corey and Johnny, I could do a half hour standing on my head. I mean, it was fucking easy. But the problem is you're doing it in front of your crowd. You're doing it in front of 200 people that came to see you, and they're going to make it easy on you. They're going to laugh at everything you say. Like I would have sets where I went up there, bombed, and did crowd work. They're like, oh, that was so funny. And like even drunk, I would be like, no, that was dog shit. That was fucking embarrassing. That was terrible. You guys just loved it because you're here to drink and have a good time and hang out with us. So I'm sure like doing, 7 years, 8 years, 10 years of those Steel Toe comedy shows, that it really dulled my skills stand-up comedy-wise, for sure. 09 Canyon says, Rousey looks different. I recognize her voice. Otherwise, I might not know it's her. Well, you know, we all get older. We all get older. By the way, thank you, Red Fox Mad. Thank you, Miss Tay. I appreciate all of those contributions. Thank you. You guys are, 145 away from tomorrow night? Awesome. Awesome. Let's all throw in a membership. Let's get that number down to 100 by the end of the night. That would be cool. My Lost Interest says based Rousey. No, she's not wrong, man. Mandy Rose got fired by TKO for having an OnlyFans. Yeah, the wrestler. And I don't think it was OnlyFans, was it? It was some like offshoot company, Fansly or something like that. I remember that Mandy Rose story. Yeah, I don't think they should be. Well, from WWE, you should probably be fired from it. But if you're doing UFC and you can get your fucking head kicked off at any time, you can show your titties on OnlyFans. To me, it's just embarrassing to the company that someone has to do OnlyFans to make ends meet because the company doesn't pay you enough. That's kind of humiliating. Let's finish up the last 25 seconds or so here of Ronda Rousey's address on this. Then we'll talk about the thing she said about the White House thing.
Athletes are leaving to go and find pay elsewhere. It's why their champions like Valentina are selling pictures of their titties on OnlyFans. You know, like these people are, a lot of them at the ground level, they can't support their families. They're living poverty level, fighting full time. This company just got $7.7 billion. There's no reason that they can't afford to pay their athletes at least a living wage.
I'm happy I'm out.
This is corporations, though. I mean, that's every corporation, especially one that's publicly traded and has to please their shareholders, is that you don't pay people what they deserve. You pay people what the market will bear. That's one of the unfortunate evils of capitalism. It is that, you can fuck over people if you can afford to. And if they can't afford to not do it, unfortunately, they got you over a barrel. Yeah, so it is. So Ngannou is going to be on that card. I like that. I think it's baller that they're calling him the lineal heavyweight champion. It's true. It's true. He never lost his title in the octagon. Francis Ngannou versus John Jones has to be the fight, though. They've got to get that made this year. If they don't, like, if Dana really isn't running the show anymore, fucking get Francis back, whatever it takes. Pay him whatever you need to pay him. You got $7.7 billion. Ngannou versus Jones is the fight everyone wants to see. By the way, Jake Paul making a fortune off this. MVP, that's his promotional company. I don't know how anybody can hate Jake and Logan Paul anymore. I don't. Like, these guys are so sharp. Maybe that's why people hate them, because they're like douchey looking, but they're really successful, and they got a good nose for business, man. That's not a Jewish joke, not at all.
The guy's a Jew.
No, he's not.
Of that. That's all what I can say.
Thank you. I just want.
You big Cameroonian oaf. I agree with that. That's all I have to say. You're not Obafemi. By the way, next Hulk Hogan right there. Black Hulk Hogan. Obafemi. Yeah, My Lost Interest says that's why unions are created. Yes, absolutely. And, people call unions communist and this and that. But that's kind of the counterweight to capitalism. Communism is capitalism's counterweight and vice versa. The solution to a corrupt central planning government hoarding all the resources is capitalism, where you disperse capital to private entities. The problem is those private entities become flush with cash and they don't pay their employees very well. That's where you get a little communism in the mix to regulate that with labor unions. And they can go, oh, we're not important. We're not worth enough money. Well, we as one worker, as one body, we're going to stop working. Now who's going to line your fucking pockets? Pay us, bitch. That's why unions are created. So yeah, I think fighters should get a union, especially when you consider like all those blue collar jobs should get unions, because you're literally risking your physical health. So I think that boxers need one badly. I mean, if you've ever seen the story of Gerald McClellan, it's the saddest story in boxing outside of like guys who die in the ring. Gerald McClellan's story is really sad. Maybe we could do a members only show on that. There's like no pension, no insurance. There's no help if you get hurt. Roy Jones Jr. Committed a lot of his personal fortune to paying for Gerald McClellan. Gerald McClellan was a great middleweight, up-and-coming middleweight champion. I think it was super middleweight champion. And he took a fight with, check me if I'm wrong on this, Nigel Benn. I believe it was a fight with Nigel Benn. He had fought the great Julian Jackson and knocked him out. Knocked out Julian Jackson. He was on his way. He was like 37-0. And he fought Nigel Benn, who was another great super middleweight champion at the time. His kid now, Connor, is a great fighter. It was a back and forth fight. It was a slugfest. Gerald McClellan ended up losing, got knocked out, and ended up, I don't know how you put it. Gerald McClellan, I don't want to say retarded. That's disrespectful, but he did end up severely brain damaged. Let me see if I can find a short thing on Gerald McClellan for you. But one of the coolest things about Roy Jones Jr. is that very secretly, he paid for Gerald McClellan to live because he couldn't make a living. Let's play this.
I'm coming to give you a hug. Huh? I was coming to give you a hug.
He can't hear either. He's very hard of hearing.
Mine big too. Mine big too. That's right. So am I. Mine bigger. My daddy. You know who my dad is? You know who my dad is? That's right. That's right. Girl. I want to ask you a question.
He's almost blind too. He's almost blind, he's almost deaf, and he's severely cognitively impaired.
I want to ask you a personal question. Nigel Ben. Nigel Ben. Yeah. Yeah. In England. Once. Yeah. In London. In London, yeah.
Stop him.
You knocked him out the ring in the first round. You knocked him out the ring in the first round. Yeah.
Is it right here in my ring?
Yeah.
Did I bully him?
No.
Huh?
Did you bully him? No, I wouldn't
He
say.
doesn't remember what happened. Saddest fucking story in boxing. Fucking heartbreaking. Probably more heartbreaking than Ali. And Ali was like a prisoner trapped inside his own body. But Gerald McClellan, he's fucking good, man. Cut down in his prime. He did. He knocked Nigel Benn out of the ring in the first round. There was, I believe, my history's a little rusty on this. I believe he knocked Nigel Benn out of the ring in the first round, and I think people helped him back into the ring. The fight was in England, and that should have been a disqualification. The fight should have been over right there, and Gerald McClellan should have won. I could be wrong. I could be thinking of another fight. But if a fighter is helped back into the ring when he's knocked out of it, that's a DQ. You can't do that. Otherwise, you have 20 seconds to get back into the ring. Usually it's 10 seconds if you go down. You get knocked out of the ring, you have 20 seconds to get back in.
You bullied him. You were more active the first round. You were more active the first round. Huh? You were busier. Yeah.
And I don't think that's his sister. I think that's his wife. I think she stayed with him. And this fight was like 30 years ago. This was in the mid to late 90s. I think she stayed with him this entire time. That's some real shit right there.
Huh? What weight?
Middleweight.
Super middleweight. Let me ask you a question. When you was fighting Nigel, y'all had a headbutt. Y'all had a headbutt. You and Nigel. You and Nigel.
Listen, I mean Nigel, 2 height fights?
Yes.
How many fight?
Once.
She's so sad, man. She just told him that they fought once in England. And he doesn't remember. He doesn't have any short-term memory.
Once. Yeah. You went down on one knee.
Was Nigel real heavy in England?
Hell yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
From England.
Yeah.
From England.
Yes.
How Nigel?
How old? Probably 56 or 57. Yes, I met him.
Nigel?
Yeah.
You good?
I never watched him fight.
Listen, was the height for Nigel real super in England?
It was 50-50.
Yeah, everybody like me in England.
Huh?
They real happy in England. Damn.
Yeah.
Everybody cheer on.
Yeah.
I meet him.
You went down on one knee.
When I want him.
Because of the headbutt.
What's wrong?
I want to say it was 11.
What's wrong?
11.
And that's on purpose? Or you couldn't tell me I was tired. Both tired.
Yeah, I couldn't really tell.
Went on one knee.
But
it's a fucking bummer, man. And again, I think if I look up that fight, Ben versus McClellan, I think Ben stopped McClellan in the 12th round. I don't think it went to a decision. 10th round knockout. Ben defeated McClellan via a 10th round knockout after McClellan was counted out while down on one knee. Shortly after the match ended, McClellan collapsed, fell into a coma for 2 weeks, and suffered severe permanent brain damage. As a result of injuries he sustained during the fight, McClellan is blind and has hearing, memory, and mobility problems. McClellan went into the fight as the bookmaker's favorite at odds of 1-3. Dude, the guy had dynamite in his fists. They called him the middleweight Mike Tyson. He was unbelievable. Within 35 seconds of the first round, Ben was knocked out of the ring by McClellan, but was able to recover within the 20 seconds allowed to get back in the ring. 10 seconds if he landed on the ring. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but I always thought that there was some kind of controversy that he was helped in. But that could be incorrect. Now, McClellan came back to take the 8th by knocking down Ben for a second time. In the 9th, a tired Nigel Benn was missing his wild punches, and the force of one caused him to fall forward and accidentally headbutt McClellan, an incident which appeared to significantly affect McClellan's physical well-being. A lot of people thought that the fight should have been stopped because of the headbutt in that round. and that's where McClellan's brain damage problem started, was the headbutt. And then he kept taking he was badly hurt, and he kept taking punishment after that. McClellan had never fought past the 8th round in his career. At the midway point of the 10th, Ben connected with a right hand, causing McClellan to drop to one knee. The referee began his count until McClellan stood back up at 7, and the fight continued. Working for American television station Showtime, commentator Ferdy Pacheco, who was Muhammad Ali's doctor, described it as the strangest knockdown he'd ever seen. Shortly after, Ben connected with another right, and again McClellan dropped to a knee, this time allowing Asaro to count him out. Saying it was, Pacheco said it was one of the most bizarre endings to a fight he'd ever seen. Something fucked up in that whole thing. Something got fucked up. And I believe Roy Jones paid Gerald McClellan's way for, and McClellan's still alive. I want to see Roy Jones versus Gerald McClellan. Wait, they fought? Did Roy Jones? I don't remember them fighting. I don't think they crossed paths. Never fought in a professional boxing match. I was going to say, why does YouTube say Roy Jones versus Gerald McClellan? Roy Jones tells a story about fighting Mike McCallum to help him with money troubles. Gerald McClellan challenges James Toney. Did Roy Jones help McClellan? Significantly helped former boxer Gerald McClellan following his tragic 1995 fight. Jones was one of the few fighters to donate a percentage of his purse to help with McClellan's medical costs, often checking on him and supporting efforts to aid his recovery. I want to say that Nigel Benn said that he could never, I don't know if they ever crossed paths again. I think Nigel Benn felt really guilty about the whole thing. Matt C says that's the referee's fault. Criminal. I don't know. You don't want to give the referee too much shit after something like that happens, because again, I'm sure you feel bad enough. Didn't the referee in the Ray Boom Boom Mancini Dooku Kim fight kill himself? I feel like he did. He killed himself. He felt so guilty. There was a fight where Ray Mancini, a popular lightweight American, fought this Korean contender for his title, and he beat him so badly that a few days later he died. And it was the end of the 15-round fight. There were no more 15-round fights after that. And the referee involved in it felt so guilty that he didn't stop it earlier that he killed himself. Fucking brutal. All right, let's go to this Mike Huckabee clip. Thank you guys very much for hitting like, hitting subscribe, and hitting follow. 229 checking out the show tonight. I appreciate you. Gift a couple of memberships, throw a couple of somethings our way. Of course, there has been no goal tonight. But if you want to knock the number down, by God, we sure do appreciate it. We sure do. All right, let's go to our next thing. This Mike Huckabee interview. This pissed me off so bad. I'm trying really hard not to trash other people's religions. I'm trying really hard, but like there's so much shit that evangelicals do that to me is so sinful and blasphemous. Like it's so gross. And one of them is this bullshit that evangelicals made up in the 1930s and 1940s. And this idea of dispensationalism, that there needs to be a country in the Middle East called Israel in order for Jesus to come back. And it's like, evangelicals are like the retarded cousins of Christianity. They don't know how to fucking read. They don't know reading interpretation. And again, don't want to insult them, but they are trying to get us all killed. And they're trying to get us all killed over a misreading of scripture, over a misreading of the Gospels. These assholes apparently have not been told about Jesus Christ. They have not been told that Jesus Christ is the third temple. So evangelicals believe that the Jews need to rebuild the temple in Jerusalem, in Israel, in the biblical Israel, in order for Jesus to come back. Christians don't believe that. That is not a Christian belief. That's a Jewish belief. All right? the Jews still believe they're chosen. They're not. Jesus Christ came to save all of humanity. Jesus Christ did not come to save Christians. He's your savior whether you accept him or not. So Jesus Christ fulfilled the prophecies of the Old Testament. But the Jews deny him. They're no longer chosen. Christians are now the chosen people. Jews now just give you Zionism and war. But they're always welcome to accept Christ as their savior, and then we can all move forward in peace. But evangelicals have this thing. They're hung up on the idea. They don't listen to Jesus. They don't listen to the Gospels. I believe they have their dick trapped in the Old Testament. And they don't understand that Christ told his followers that he is the temple. There's not going to be a rebuilt Jewish temple. Jesus Christ is that temple. So Mike Huckabee is one of these evangelicals who believes that we need to fight Israel's wars for them so they can rebuild the temple so the Messiah can return. That's not a Christian belief, Mike. That's not even a Jewish belief. That's just some shit they made up. Meanwhile, if Jesus was to return, it wouldn't be because a kingdom of man, a kingdom of man's making, not God's making, a country that was made by the United Nations and the Rothschild family in 1948 would not be the Israel that the Bible's talking about. If you take a shit in a creamed corn can and you label it creamed corn, it doesn't make it not taste like shit. Also, if you call a country Israel, it doesn't mean it's the Israel of the Bible. It means you slapped a Coke logo on cat piss. So anyway, this is Mike Huckabee not understanding his own faith, talking to some blonde lady.
I get asked all the time because I'm a Christian, and they say, well, why are you so supportive of the Jewish people? I said, you can be Jewish, you don't have to have anything to do with Christians, but you can't be a Christian and not understand that your entire faith is built on the foundation of Judaism.
No! Wrong! Fucking wrong-o! The Christian faith is built on the crucifixion and sacrifice of Christ, who died for our sins in fulfillment of the prophecies of the Old Testament. That is not owed to Judaism. The prophecies in the Old Testament were fulfilled by Christ, but we do not owe our foundations to Judaism. We owe our foundations to Christ's sacrifice on the cross. Jews deny his divinity, and that's why they're no longer the chosen people. These evangelicals are going to get us all killed because they can't read. That's like, honest to God, the reason we fought the war in Iraq, the reason we established Israel in 1948, the reason we're fighting Iran now, the reason we let Israel get away with murder is because the Bush family, the Huckabees, the Trump family, the Kushner family, the Lutnick family, Netanyahu, all these people believe that there's going to be some temple built, forgetting that Christ already told them he is the temple. Now, God, many people losing sons and husbands and fathers, bleeding out in the desert sand because Mike Huckabee and his people can't fucking read. That's what's frustrating about this. We pay the price for their stupidity.
So for Christians, we look at this as an obligation, a moral debt.
I have no moral debt to the people who killed the savior of humanity. No. And who deny him to this day.
We must.
I don't, people keep saying, oh, do you hate Jews? I don't hate Jews. But they really need to accept Christ if we're going to live in a peaceful world. They really need to stop denying him.
Repay. And therefore, I don't understand anyone who says, I'm a Christian, but I don't really want to support the Jews. Well, how can you do that? But it's
fucking easy. Mike, you are such a Jewish slave. It's unbelievable. What you should be saying is, if you're a Jew, how can you not accept Christ and be a Christian? He fulfills all of the Old Testament's prophecies. Mike turns it around and goes, well, how can you not appreciate the Jews? What? The modern day state of Israel Jews, the war criminals? No, thanks. I'm good. How can they not accept? I mean, think of what Jesus Christ went through, and these people deny that. Like, that's so fucking evil.
Not the view of those of us who are what I would call biblical believers that accept that what the scripture says about the Jewish people. And
the Gospels, Mike. You're forgetting the other half of the book that your religion is based on, the New Testament, the apostles. Fuck.
Genesis 12, those who bless Israel will be blessed. Those who curse Israel will be cursed.
That's not what it says. It does not say the 1948 state of Israel. And that's not, I don't believe it says Israel. I believe it says you. It's a very specific passage. I think he's gaslighting me because I don't think, does the Bible say those who curse Israel? It's a misreading of it. The Bible indicates that God views the treatment of Israel as a direct reflection of one's relationship with him. Genesis 12:3, I bless those who bless you, and him who dishonors you, I will curse. This is the danger of reading the Bible out of context, passage by passage. You have to read the whole thing. It's referring to a very specific part in that time. And by the way, once Christ dies on that cross, fulfills the scriptures, he turns all of that on its head. He became Israel. Christianity became Israel at that point. God promises Abraham that he will be a great nation, and those who curse or dishonor him will be cursed. So it does not say that those who curse Israel will be cursed. That is not what it said. At any rate. At any rate. Miss Tay says, yeah, he's specifically fucking with you. Yeah, right? Mike Huckabee is directly targeting me. I'm sounding a little Jewish now. Oh my goodness. No, it's also guided by the fact that I really don't like Mike Huckabee. I really don't like him. 09 Canyon says, just watch the original Left Behind movies, the Kirk Cameron ones, not the Nick Cage one. I cannot stress enough to you guys that the Bible says nothing about the rapture. The Bible says nothing about tribulations. Christ didn't say anything about it. It was made up in the 19th century. Look it up. Look it up. Again, evangelicals not being able to read. When was the concept? I think it was the 19th century. When was the concept of rapture invented? The modern doctrine of the pre-tribulation rapture was formulated around 1830 by British theologian John Nelson Darby. He developed a concept of a secret rapture where believers are taken to heaven before a 7-year tribulation based on a new interpretation of 1 Thessalonians 4:17. It gained widespread popularity in the 20th century, particularly in the United States, through the Schofield Reference Bible and later pop culture. One guy in 1830 figured it out. Nobody else figured it out. Paul, Peter, John, none of them. Any of the Beatles. None of them figured it out. But in 1830, some dickhead British guy said, oh, yeah. It's because there's a passage in the Bible that his people, like when Jesus returns, his people will rise to meet him. And this fuckhead took that as they're going to float, but they're going to disappear and be raptured into heaven to meet Jesus. No, it means like people will rise to the occasion. People will rise from their knees to go meet the Savior when he returns to earth. This guy literally thinks people are going to disappear out of their shoes. That's how he read it. Dick. I mean, good Lord. 1830. Don't get me started on people who believe in speaking in tongues. Oh my goodness. Kelly Cat says, one day you'll have to explain your interpretation of the events of the book of Revelations. It ain't in there. Is rapture in Revelation? It ain't in there. Does not appear. Rapture does not appear in the book of Revelation, and its presence there is a matter of interpretation. While 1 Thessalonians 4:17 explicitly describes believers being caught up Many interpreters see Revelation as focusing on the tribulation. Some view Revelation 4:1, John called up to heaven, as a symbol of the rapture, while others, as suggested in a post on Quora, argue it is not explicitly shown, with some even questioning the concept's biblical validity. Right. That's because until 1830, when one loudmouth said it, everyone went, that's retarded. So yes, rapture is a myth. Kelly Cat says, I didn't say it was there. Oh, sorry. I said I wanted to hear your interpretation of the events. No. This goes back to my relationship advice. I can't tell you what's there and interpret it properly. I can just tell you what isn't. I would never tell you that this means this and that means that, and like this is exactly what it is. All I can tell you is shit that isn't there and that was made up. I can tell you a bunch of bullshit that people invented. That is not what Christ said. I can't tell you like this is what's going to happen in Revelation. No. Reformed, but Kirk Cameron's full of shit, is what I meant to say. Reformed Rapscallion says, I'm not a believer, so I asked some preachers and they confirm what I thought. Only God decides when the rapture is. It could be 1,000 years. These people are fools that don't even understand their own religion. Thank you. Reformed Rapscallion gets it. Yeah, you don't... These Mike Huckabee sorts who think that they can start wars and then spur God to return to earth. No, that's so arrogant. Like, it's so incredibly arrogant. My kingdom is not of this world. That's what he said. So go ahead and drop nukes all fucking day. He's coming back when he's coming back. Imholt 398, Reformed Rapscallion said, he shall be fatteth and he shall prefer to lay down with man. It's not what I said. Oh, I'm sorry, Kelly Cat. You said there is no tribulation. I'm sorry. It's the caffeine. I'm getting worked up. Their idea of rapture and tribulation is wrong. They think there's going to be a big rapture and tribulation. Though that's what I meant. I don't mean entire thing. But, oh God. Let me just make sure. Yeah, 1830. That's what it was. Yeah, the rapture for years and years, or the tribulation for years and years was supposed to be like a gathering together to be with Christ. Like it wasn't going to be, like for a long time, it wasn't going to be this like 7-year prolonged thing. It was this idea of a struggle. But anyway, look, that's going to take a long time. I'm just trying to tell you that the 19th century, some British dick started talking about rapture, and fucking Mike Huckabee wants to start wars now. There, that's the long and short of it. Some British dickhead in 1830 said that there's a rapture, so now Mike Huckabee has to bomb every fucking brown person he sees in the Middle East. McBuster says it is easier for a man to ride a camel through Needle Park than it is for a Techsburg to learn social skills. I believe that's what Jesus said. And I think that was, I believe that was geared towards Elon Musk. Redbird says, so is he coming back or do we keep waiting? He's coming back when he's coming back. Mike Huckabee can fart on whoever he wants. He's coming back when he's coming back. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, we got a little more time. How do we keep getting on this? I got to stop. I'm insatiable at this point. I'm just yelling at evangelists. I want to apologize right now to most Protestants. I want to apologize to Lutherans especially, some Baptists. I want to apologize to some of those people because they're cool, they're good. My problem was with evangelicals. Those people are nuttier than a shithouse rat, I think is the saying. My lost interest. Somebody lighten this thing up. My lost interest says the girl who showed me her boobs in church camp when I was 12 had me speaking in tongues. No, you were babbling. There's a big difference. You were babbling. Sam Show says, you don't even talk about Jews anymore. Just ramble about your faggot religion. I don't think you're allowed to call my religion a faggot religion. I can call evangelicals retards. Roots Calhoun says, Imholt67 says, churn thy butter from one's own udder like a milkmaid from Nazareth thrice daily. That's not in the Bible. It's not in the Bible at all. You lied. Blasphemy. Honeybee's Photo says, I need the Jews. They make great movies. Don't worry, we'll enslave them and they'll make movies for us. I'm joking. I'm teasing. I'm not going to do that. Let's watch Sam Harris. Speaking of Jewish guys, let's watch two Jewish guys bitch at each other before we leave tonight. Throw in a little tithing at the end of the show here, please and thank you. Bill Maher was on with Sam Harris, couple of old atheist queens, and Sam Harris got bitchy at Bill Maher for having dinner with Donald Trump. So they're going to passive aggressively excoriate each other for a couple of minutes here.
But I mean, the Trump thing, we're free to have that differentiation of opinion.
Well, so we didn't do the postmortem on that. Do you want to do it or you don't want to do it?
Sure. I mean, like, I don't, I never took it personally. It was just...
Well, no, I don't think that's quite true. I think you did take it personally and you were right.
This is what I mean. Just a couple of old middle-aged queens, or old queens, not middle-aged. Couple of old queens just being bitchy with each other. Well, I didn't take it personally. No, I think you did take it personally. I'll tell you this, as I get older, the older I get, the more I hate Sam Harris. He is such a cunt. When I was like 20 and atheist and cool and nobody can tell me shit, I thought him and Hitchens and Dawkins were so smart and like, yeah, you know what Sam Harris said? Now I listen to Sam Harris, like especially during COVID and shit, and I'm like, oh, well, this guy just fucking... Well, I was going to say something bad. Can his internet connection drop out or something? But just listen to the passive aggressiveness. Bill Maher tells him, I didn't take it personally. And because Sam has some bullshit that he wants to say to Bill Maher, he has to pretend that didn't happen. He goes, no, you did. Because the thing I'm about to say to you next, you had to have taken it personally for it to make sense. So I think you did.
I don't think that's quite true. I think you did take it personally, and you were right to take the thing you took personally. You were right to take personally.
Oh, okay. I took Annika's email personally because it was condescending. I know.
I was not in the loop for that.
But I'm telling you, it was very condescending.
Okay.
See, like this is one of those things where like two old guys get together and hash it out on a podcast, but it's like this is a conversation that could have been done via email. We didn't have to see it. We didn't have to watch it. But by all means, you two get your estrogen out.
And but that's okay. We can make up there too.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't get editorial privileges on their emails.
I'm sure you don't. But my thing always was with you was like I look up to you. There's so few people I look up to, as the person who like doesn't make judgments based on emotions, and I can't find the logical argument for not having dinner with Trump. It's either that. We have to isolate him, which is insane because he's the president of the United States. Scorched earth policy. Nobody talked to him. Of course, everyone has to talk to him, and half the country would love to talk to him. So that
I would too. I'd like to talk to Donald Trump and be like, "Did you fuck those girls on that island, you piece of shit? You lie to us? You covering that shit up? You got stank on your hang down from underage girls, you fucking demon? Huh? What do you know? Turn in your friends, or you're guilty too." Give us Lutnick.
We can't isolate him.
Trump can be pilot. Give us Lutnick.
The other argument would be, well, you're elevating him. Elevating him? Like he's going to become president? This is insane also.
Yeah.
And the other argument was...
Dude, how about this? It doesn't have to be that deep. You got offered to have dinner at the White House. I don't care if Hitler's president. I'm going to the White House to have dinner. I don't give a shit who it legitimizes.
He would seduce me, which plainly that didn't happen because he's mad at me again.
Let's walk through
to
this.
me, it's just the emotion of, I hate, and like, there's nothing you say. I hear you. I never miss a podcast. And when you go off on Trump, you do it.
How shitty is your life? I never miss an episode of Sam Harris's podcast. Old Jewish whinging about how people don't appreciate how smart you are. Me, I can't believe people don't think I'm dumber.
A more eloquent way, as you do about everything. And like, there's no place where I'm not shaking my head in agreement. You know, it's not that. I get all the critiques, and I, by the way, made a lot of them before anybody. I mean, I'm a little bored with.
I'm really smart too, Sam. God, these two. And I like Bill Maher, but God, these two just need their fucking balls licked all the time. Roots, get in there.
Subject. I've done it. Yeah. I did Trump, you know, mob boss in 2016. Okay. So, like, you know, I showed the tape of him jerking off.
I hate Trump more.
It's okay. Yeah. I wanted to go to this other level where we have this communication. And there was an article in the New York Times 2 days ago about the Prime Minister of Finland.
Holy shit, you guys. You could have done this over, like, coffee or something. Let's get to Sam Harris's response.
That's what I found. And, like, I got so much shit for it. No, the answer is not less people like me talking to him. It's more people like me.
That part. So
by the way, Bill Maher's for the Iran war.
I'm genuinely uncertain about this. So a couple of things are clear to me, and some things are just not at all clear to me. But first, I think your audience might be confused about what we're talking about in terms of how you and I got sideways here. So
this sucks.
You had your dinner with Trump. You got an immense amount of shit for it. You gave your postmortem on your show. You got an immense amount of shit for that. And
from a certain quarter.
I seem to be echoing a lot of that pain you were getting. And so what happened on my podcast, I was reacting to many things at once. I was reacting to a lot of the podcast bros who had Trump on their podcast, and you know, Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn and Andrew Schultz and the rest.
Bill Maher doesn't miss an episode of this? Jesus Christ. I'm sorry that I ended my show with this. I don't miss an episode of your podcast. I'm jealous of Bill Maher. He must sleep the sleep of the saved. Holy shit. Can you ooze with pomposity more than Sam Harris? I guess Richard Dawkins.
Thought performed really irresponsible interviews where they just kind of midwifed his lunacy and made, you know, election denialism seem all too plausible, et cetera. And I think probably got him elected in the end. Or were among the things that got him elected. But so I was reacting to that, and then you had, and I was reacting to.
You know, what a great world we would live in if Sam Harris was as smart as he thought he was. We would be kicking ass right now. He would be in charge of the world. We'd have peace everywhere. If I pray that Sam Harris one day will be as intelligent as he believes himself to be. Damn. Thank you to Miss Tay gifting a membership to On a Wall. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. Well, guys, you made us a whopping $30 tonight. We did one for free because there was no goal. There was no goal tonight. My Lost Interest says Aaron meets Hitler in the White House, can't do the Nazi salute because of bursitis in his shoulder, goes missing the following day. Oh, don't say that I have bursitis around Sam's show. He thinks I said I have perclitis or something. Sam's show, the ears don't work. His ears work like Sam Harris's brain does. All right, guys, take it easy. I'm out of here for the night. We'll come back tomorrow, and I'll do a better show for you. Unless the morning show kicks ass again and I'm doing this for free. Then, you know, we'll just go through the motions and I'll serve my time. Take it easy. Have a great rest of your night. See you tomorrow morning.